Explicit content warning. Easily offensive contains subject matter unsuitable for anyone under the age of 18. Every episode is meant to be taken as satire, and we do not condone racism, bigotry, or acts of violence. Thank you for listening to the Easily Offensive Podcast.
Emma Stone's hot, dude.
I would hold her hand.
Boy, howdy, I'd take her to the picture show.
Welcome to the Easily Offensive Podcast. If you're out there and you are easily offended, now's your time to leave.
And welcome back to the Easily Offensive Podcast. I'm back, obviously, because, I'm talking. And we have, to my left, we have the Dylan. And straight across from me, we have a Ginger. And then we have a faggot.
And should have known.
But on a special occasion, not only am I back, but we actually have a guest.
Someone that hasn't... Well, this is actually 2 podcasts in a row
Yeah.
that we've had someone that's not... Well, I guess
not Dylan as a guest.
Yeah.
Until Dylan guested himself into a permanent role.
I did.
Yeah.
We have...
That's how good of a guest I was.
Let's introduce Efren.
Hi.
Hi.
A little. This is
Dude,
a
you're
little
out,
culture.
I always found that it's really hard. You don't know ever what to say at the beginning of like being a guest on a podcast. It's just like, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Everybody make this easier, please.
Well, see, the thing is it's on video, so you can do whatever. You can talk with your hands and all that. It's not
you can
just
pull
an
your
audio.
dick out
As
if you
he-
want.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think you should do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hey, we watched buttholes on here. a couple
That was
times.
educational.
Dude,
It would be
been-
educational.
So unless you're going to talk about how the veins work in a nutsack, I don't suggest it.
Which has your name in it. I can never remember what they're called. But Efren is in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the testy tubes again?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just brought them up.
Well, I mean,
You can't say, "Am I?" Are you talking about? You just
I
brought it
talked
up.
about the veins, not the tubes in your nutsack.
Oh, like specifically blood vessels?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I apologize for being gross then.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you were the gross one.
You're being,
Okay.
so
Anyway,
he's being
Efren
very
is
tubular.
Efren is my BNFL.
Yep.
What the
My
fuck is
best friend for life.
What's the N stand for?
What's the N stand for?
Nuggets.
We're lost.
Best nuggets for lunch.
Yep.
Best
Yeah.
nugget for lunch.
That's what it is.
Gotcha.
What a save.
I'm gonna Google what your semen tubes are called. Give me a moment.
Why do you have to Google it?
Yeah, why doesn't Zach?
Okay, bring it up, Zach. Bring that up.
Wait,
Google
hold on.
what
I gotta
the-
say
you gotta
this
remember
right
just-
here.
What are the tubes that carry your semen?
I'm not looking that up.
Okay, well,
There you go.
get to it, homie.
No, see, this isn't the worst shit.
Just
yet.
do it.
We'll give it time. We'll get you.
What are semen tubes called? Hey, Pornhub popped on that for
Yeah,
a second.
Defrenis.
Deferens.
Yeah, that's not my
Def-
name, bro.
Yeah,
I
that's-
know, but it,
I
the
see
way-
where he's
like-
coming from.
I get it though. Yeah.
yeah. You
Where-
switched
will you
the-
look at the
The diagram?
no the
It looks like
pronunciation.
Efferin. Deferens.
Vast deferens.
Deferens.
Vast deferens. That's
It's in
how,
there.
It's vast deferens.
It's in there. Yeah.
That sounds like
But like if you got
See.
fat, I would call you a vast efferent.
Yeah.
So yeah, vast efferents.
We are looking at how to pronounce
This guy's way sexier than is necessary.
words from anatomy, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel if you enjoy learning.
Dude, that could be your
How
uncle.
do you say
Right.
it? Vas deferens.
Deferens.
I like how they
We
hired
gotta do it.
fucking
It's like
Yeah,
discount
Enrique
Antonio Banderas.
Iglesias to do that.
It's very good.
Very close to
That
Morgan
was so
Freeman.
appropriate for you.
Yeah.
That's
For anyone that doesn't know or cannot tell, he is Mexican. So
I am
Which-
a beaner.
Will probably not come up the rest of this
Hey,
episode.
he said it, so it's fine.
Fine. It's fine.
what was
Isn't
that
that
text?
weird?
What was that text you sent me, Blake, before the show?
I
when
don't
told you?
remember.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read it then.
It's okay.
Oh, that's a choice.
So Blake said, "Let's see. I got off work and I talked to Blake and he's like, "Did you see the message I sent you?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to read it right now." And it says, "Zach is afraid Efren might steal things in his house. Not for the reason you think. ... It's because he's a poor, filthy Mexican."
Jesus.
I mean, I showered today, so
He's like, so I'm not filthy.
yeah.
It's funny that 'cause that's what he said on the Marco Polo too. Because you asked for my address, and I was like, well, you ride with Blake, so I assumed it was for Efren to find the place. And Blake was like, yeah, it's probably so we can come back to your place later and steal shit. I'm like,
Well,
I mean, there ain't much to steal here. Want to take my kid?
no, I'm
He
good.
sits here and he just starts taking stuff out
That's
of
the one
his
thing he
jacket.
doesn't take.
I mean, he's worth money, I bet, on the black market somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sure
I
he
mean,
is.
wow.
Wow.
I was like, the black market, you can sell anything and anyone. So,
You know, when I was working at the truck stop in Cheyenne, I was a diesel technician. There were signs all over, for
about human trafficking.
About human trafficking.
Kids for sale.
No, not like ads, but like warnings and like
This
what
is
to
a
watch
fucked up
for.
truck stop.
Yeah, I was like,
free.
damn, how often is this
They're like-
happening? You have to put up warning labels?
They're like oil change 75, child
Especially at like the
175. Yeah,
Especially
250.
especially the truck stop I worked at because it was near the intersection or the interchange of I-20 and I-85 or I-25 and I-80, and so it was two major interstates, so could go anywhere instantly.
I guess.
So there was always like not ads, but like warnings, like, "Hey, this is what you need to look out for. Is anyone looking suspicious?"
I was like,
And
everyone
I said, "Yes,
here.
everyone that has a towel on their head."
Wow.
And it was not for the reason you think.
Okay.
It's because they were filthy Arabs.
I thought he was going to go, everyone just plays a lot of b-ball. It's hot there. They just use that to cool off. But nope, he's all like, no, I'm a racist.
No, those are the guys that would come in. They were actually always really nice, and they would come in and they, sir, please oil change. I'm like, yeah, and go ahead.
Dude,
pull it.
it's the
thank you
fucking-
so much. And I'm
um,
like,
I
it's
delivered-
my job. You don't have to say thank you.
I delivered.
But you paid for it too.
I delivered chips to the truck stops just south of town here for 7 years, and the people, it's the fat white truckers
That are dicks.
that are gross, dude. I just couldn't believe how disgusting they were. Like they walk in there and you're just like, God, you're gonna die soon. Like they're all so fat and so gross. And I'm not saying this is, if you're a trucker out there and you're listening, you're beautiful in your own way.
No, you're
But
not.
I saw
You're
the
fucking
most
gross.
disgusting human beings I've ever seen walk through the doors of that place.
I agree.
And I'm sure-
And they all wear slides. Like they
And
all
they're-
throw the slides on to go into the truck stop shower,
What's
and
with-
their fucking toenails look like Fritos.
And if you go into the bathroom to take a piss, they're always having explosive diarrhea
Oh, yeah.
in there.
And if
Yep.
they're not, they're also taking a piss, and it sounds like it's the most difficult thing they've ever done in their life.
So much grunting.
So much grunting, dude. Grunting and fucking wheezing and shit. They're
So,
like, dude, you're just peeing. Like, fuck.
have you worked at a gas station before?
No.
Okay.
He works for Idaho Bread.
Yeah.
So he delivers like Takis and all the Mexican weird
So like
treats
the
and
most
stuff.
brown treats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he
Thought it was
has
so
my
funny.
job, only more Spanish.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Just super brown.
So,
Hey, we got
I
three
was-
vendors back in the podcast.
yeah.
Blake, are you considered a
full
vendor
on
still?
vendor life.
feels like I am.
Yeah, you're a
Like,
gas
it's-
vendor.
Yeah, it's just different shit than
Yeah.
it was. It's
I
just-
bring gas for that ass. That's what you should
And if you couldn't,
Dude, have you done what I told you
Yeah,
yet?
yeah.
I forget.
Okay, so Blake has to like check off all the things that he's hauling. Like he has to have a perfect inventory of his truck before it can move anywhere because of the hazardous materials, right?
Yeah.
Am I speaking out?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you're right.
So I told him, I was like, so what are the gases that you haul? You're like
Oxygen.
oxygen, check.
argon,
Argon, check. Okay,
carbon
got the
monoxide.
carbon monoxide,
Rarely.
check. And then I want him to do all that and then be like, methane. All right, check. See you boys later.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't done that because I know when I do, I'm 100% gonna shit my pants. Like right,
Like,
as
I
the
gotta
day
be
is
close to
starting.
home when I do
Yeah.
that one.
I can't.
Speaking
Can't
of,
do that shit in Boise.
Speaking
Not
of shit
risking
in
it.
pants, I'm pretty sure Dylan shit his pants on Marco Polo the other day.
I checked. I was fine. Dude, it was
He gets on
risky,
there
though.
and he's like for 9 seconds just
Trying to force one out.
just like really
we've all-
tightening up.
The worst
all-
part was that I was in the bread room at Winco, right? And then right after I did that, I was like, God damn, that was fucking awful, right? Ruined the bread room. And this poor older lady that works at Winco was doing their go back shit, and so she came right back into that room, like right where I was standing, and I was like, she has got to be full. Not only that, experiencing it completely. I was like, oh God,
Tasted it.
I'm
What were
gonna
you
leave
saying,
now.
Efren?
No, I said
all.
we've all shit ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody more than Blake.
No,
though.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
kind of known for that.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate thing to be known for. But
All right, everyone already knows my
I feel like I'm
story.
just most open about it.
Your shit story?
Yeah.
Which
About
one?
The one at the Good to Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that one was brutal. Yeah, he like wrapped it up like a baby and took it for a swim or something.
Oh, jeez.
He did way too much shit with that shit. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, it was
a nightmare.
it was a nightmare.
Everyone's been there. But no, since. But you've been a vendor, so then you would still probably come across this once or twice. But as somebody who's worked at the gas station, there's been many times when I've had to call the police, and I'm like, we have probably a dead body in one of the trucks out back.
Oh yeah, I guess it's like super common that truckers stop at truck stops, and then they die because they're. I mean, like
It's just so unhealthy.
yeah, a lot of them are so unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's to the point. Every time we drive by a truck stop, Courtney like looks over and she's like, "How many dead bodies do you think are out there?" I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
You're like, well, hopefully none.
Like at
Jesus.
least one, probably. I don't know.
Blake, did you want me to put the live score on the TV?
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be super cool.
Who's playing?
The Colts and the Texans right now.
Oh,
It's for the
playoffs.
No one cares
for-
about
for
the Colts, man.
Dude, says a Bears fan.
No one cares about the Bears. That's why I'm not going to watch tomorrow.
There you go.
I don't think I'm going to watch either. Cause
Yeah, Efren hasn't had to dedicate himself to watching football for, I don't know. When did Jay Cutler leave?
2017,
The fact that he actually has a
18,
Wow, it's been
something like that.
long, huh?
Was it
Been a
that
while.
recent?
Yeah.
Where they,
Wow.
I would have said like 83, but that.
Really?
It was like 18 because then in 19 they had fucking long neck giraffe ass Glennon.
Oh, Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon.
I thought it was 15 or 16 that Cutler left.
No, because they had him for a couple of years and then because in no, hold on, I'm all fucked up trying to think. It was
Zach,
before that.
will you
It was
give it a
before
Goog?
that.
Will you Google that?
Google.
Jay
When-
Cutler.
Jay Cutler
When did
with
Jay
the Bears,
Cutler leave
yeah.
the Bears?
think
I
it
don't
was
know why
eight-
you didn't even try to do that right out of the gate. Come on, Zach. You got the power of the internet at your
We didn't have it
fingertips.
for 1 week, so now he's like, I guess we'll just never know.
2017. You were right on, dude.
Damn.
Oh, 17. Oh, I
I like
read the
that.
first.
The jersey's got him in on the picture though.
Yeah.
That's a way better jersey.
Did he go to the Broncos after?
No, he was
he
drafted
got
to-
picked
It was
by
the draft of
Broncos
the
in
Broncos.
06.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
so
all
they
that.
probably paid him $140 million and then kicked him out the door. Right?
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson.
And then you guys got Kyle Lorton. That fucking.
remind me.
Whatever happened to that tall motherfucker?
Oh, Brock
Osweiler.
Osweiler.
I was gonna say Peyton Manning.
He went from the Broncos
He
to the
retired.
Texans to the Browns, back to the Broncos, rode off into the sunset, throwing 6 touchdowns his whole career.
I fucking.
He was
Uh,
terrible.
6 touchdowns.
You
I
can pay
think
your
he
bills
threw-
for the rest of your
I'm
life.
just
I know you're like lowballing on purpose,
Yeah.
but I think he did really good.
He had that
when he
super,
stepped in
yeah,
for
he stepped
Manning.
in for Manning, and
And he
yeah,
did
no, he had a
really
couple good games, and
wasn't
that's what,
he kind of the reason they made it to the playoffs?
that's why he got a fat contract with the Texans and left
Well,
town.
He wasn't the reason they made it to the playoffs. He was the reason we kept the
I mean,
first
he
seed.
kept,
But
he kept,
that's the
he
same-
kept it alive. He
He had
did
a
what he needed to do. that
Couple
year.
good games, and that's
Gavin's
basically made
completely out of his element here. He's
made
got
his whole career.
4 football fans, and he's like, I think I know what a touchdown is.
Yeah. I just sit there and I'm like, I'd fuck those cheerleaders.
What about a touchback? It's the dude cheerleaders.
And
Give me a dick.
It's called a D.
I think just the Rams and one other team carries male cheerleaders.
Crayons. Yeah,
The
because they
Crayons.
ram it in
How-
people's
how
butts.
progressive-
You guys can make fun of
Was it-
all
is
the male cheerleaders and all
Words.
that, but dude,
Oh,
they,
do you want to try again?
let's guess how fucking much pussy they probably do get.
Probably
none.
none, because they're gay guys.
Yeah.
Not always.
I mean, no, not, but
But,
most
I mean,
likely. I
these
mean,
guys are
like,
professional cheerleaders.
you
They're
definitely
probably-
don't have to be gay to be a professional cheerleader, but the odds are that
Pretty
you're gay.
high.
Yeah.
the odds are that you're gay.
What was that
probably.
one movie? Do you guys ever watch that one movie about?
Bring It On?
No, it's about like cheerleaders. Like
Bring
Bring
It
It
On?
On?
No, but they're dudes
No.
and they fucking pretend they're
Bring
like,
It
oh,
On?
we're
No,
gay.
it's not that. I know what he's talking about.
It's about dude cheerleaders?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like the only reason they became cheerleaders is to fuck girls.
In that one, they're like,
Fired
Fired
up.
up. Yeah,
Fired
that's
up.
up, yeah.
how do you spell fired up?
F you. Not really.
That movie was good.
I was sitting there watching that
Yeah,
whole one. Like,
that's where, isn't it
genius.
where that guy is from? What's he in?
He's in a few
Everything.
things.
He's
yeah.
so fucking funny, but he
What's
comes
the
out
actor?
and sits down and he's like, how long was I in there? He's like, 5 minutes? It's like, man, I am bad in bed. Funniest fucking line.
I love that movie.
I was totally like, Bring It On, because it does have male cheerleaders in it too.
I forgot.
yeah, but
about
you don't
Fired Up.
fucking
That's a
pay
good
attention
movie.
to them. They're like nobody's in that show.
No, they.
Isn't Kirsten Dunst in that?
No.
The only movie I know for sure that has
And Bring It
Kirsten
On?
Dunst in it.
Oh,
is
and Bring It On.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Isn't she the main chick?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
think
was
so.
MJ. She's the ugliest MJ.
The ugliest MJ.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
kind
Oh, you mean out of all the
Spider-Man.
the
I
Spider-
I think the
He's
hottest
over here, he's
MJ
like, wait,
was
I don't remember that.
100%
Bring It On.
Emma Stone.
Well,
100%.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
she
she
was
wasn't.
Gwen.
She was-
She was Gwen.
Whoa,
She
whoa!
was
Did
Gwen
you?
Stacy,
I was
yeah.
about to say, did you just
Oh,
call
she
Emma
was.
Stone
Yeah,
ugly?
she was. No, he was saying she was hot.
Oh, good. I was all like, yeah, Emma Stone's hot, dude.
I would hold her hand.
Boy, howdy, I'd take her to the picture show.
I bring her flowers.
Who's the one you have a crush on again, Zach?
Anna Kendrick.
Oh yeah.
Made it gay.
Hold her hand too.
I like Anna Kendrick.
I would.
I like.
Hold her
I
hand.
just enjoy her movies. I do. I
Yeah,
really do.
she's actually really funny.
My
I like
favorite
her.
one is I don't know what the movie
Pitch Perfect is fucking awesome. I love Pitch Perfect. I love Into the Woods. She was in Into the Woods.
Did you,
we just
did you see
recently
the
watched that.
TikTok I sent you the other day about her?
No.
She was watching herself
Oh,
through
yeah.
cups,
Yeah.
and
so,
she was like, "I'm just don't take this wrong way, but I'm distracted by my own cleavage."
Can I say that? Can I say that?
And I was like, I forgot, but yeah, she's got like a lot of tits out in that video.
Oh, I don't remember it.
Yeah. I
Because
didn't
she's like
remember
the alt.
She's the new girl.
Would you call her alt?
long way around.
Not seen her. Alt.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Not really. No.
It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got sides to give you shivers.
But it
Okay.
sure would be prettier with you.
Zach, the only
Wow.
person that's ever jacked it to cups.
Well,
Well,
No,
different
with
cups.
her.
Into cups. He's
well,
like-
that's a trick though
he was pouring himself a beer and he thought about it and he's like, I'm gonna just use this for something else.
for a
real
mixer.
quick."
For a mixer, gross. You're fucking nasty.
Ew, salt on the rim, huh?
Well, kind of.
Bring up that.
Speaking
Andy
of rim.
Kendrick
Blake's
TikTok.
like, I just want to see
TikTok.
I
those
just need to see
sweater
those.
pillows.
And immediately, is that Batman?
Oh,
Holy
dude, those are so
shit.
funny. Is that the
They
Pete
are,
Holmes
but why does
stuff?
it keep-
Have you seen the one where he fires Aquaman?
Yeah.
He's like, is that your trident? He's like, yeah. How many points does it have? It's called a fucking trident.
Like I said, it's going to take Efren away when we go to this screen, but that's just
We're just looking.
what it is.
Oh, she's watching herself.
There's no volume.
I'm distracted by my cleavage. Can I say that? Is that weird?
No, because I am too.
Zoom in.
Oh, she's in Twilight too.
Oh shit! Nope, that don't work that way.
That
Well, I
don't
don't-
work. That
That's
I
what
done
she started
fucked it
on.
up.
fingers on the
Was-
screen.
oh, it
She was in
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Was she?
Yeah,
She
she
was.
plays one of the.
She's in Twilight. Yeah,
One of the
she's
vampires, doesn't? Like,
no, she's a human.
Oh, yeah.
She's one of the.
she's
friends.
one of the friends. Yeah,
Just
I totally forgot about that. And then like during the summer, sometime
half the only reason I
my
watched that
daughter
movie.
just discovered Twilight, and so we watched all of them. And I was just like,
Fucking
I would-
straight back
being
to high
alive.
school. No, I don't mind Twilight at all.
I would hold her hand.
I thought it was a good story. It's entertaining.
Is that,
Dude, the battle scene in Breaking Dawn Part 2. Have you guys seen Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
You can't
all
tell
14
me.
years ago.
all 5 movies.
You
There's
can't tell.
five?
I'm
Well, they-
about to
they-
get
so
so,
they did-
serious
Zach
right now.
read the books.
They did the Harry Potter thing with the last movie. They
They broke it into
Broke
two.
it
Into
Two.
two.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
cunty.
I had seen the first two, like in high school when everybody was fucking obsessed with it. I had never finished all the movies. I watched Breaking Dawn and Breaking Dawn Part 2 for the first time this last summer. And the end battle scene in Breaking Dawn Part 2
it's kind of good.
is fucking good.
See, I couldn't get into them. Not because it was like super girly and stuff, but the fact that werewolves are giant ass
Dogs.
wolves,
Yeah.
and then fucking vampires glitter. It's like, all right,
Like,
bitch,
I
calm
don't
down.
care about
Like,
any of that. I mean,
well-
I just like the story. I like.
I feel
a
like
love
okay,
I
story.
feel
we'll do
like
it.
we all
But the
could've
battle
done it.
scene was, dude, I was like, oh my god, everything's getting fucked up. Spoiler alert, sorry, from 2012 if you haven't seen it yet. But like, I watched everybody get fucking handled, and it was like every main character is fucking dying, and I'm like, oh my god, like the
And then it, like,
Carlisle gets his
it was
fucking
just
head
a
ripped off and all.
fucking,
It was brutal, and then it was like, oh no, it was just the vision that the guy was having. He was seeing what the battle would be if they went for it, and then it goes into his eye, and everybody's still standing there. They haven't fought yet, and
He's
I
like-
fucking. I had a drink. I threw it. I was like, "What the fuck?" And Courtney started laughing so hard. She's like, "Didn't see that coming." I'm like, "No, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Fuck this fucking movie." And I got up and left. And she's like, Jesus
He's like, I was emotionally all
you
there.
are not taking this well. I'm like,
So,
well,
I'll-
I was invested.
I'll admit that the Twilight series is one of those, like, what do you call it, where it's something you like, but you're like
Embarrassed of it?
Nostalgic?
No, not nostalgic.
guilty pleasure.
guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
There, I don't know why that was so hard for me to
See,
remember that.
I don't
phrase.
believe in guilty pleasures. I think that you should just like the shit that you like.
Well, the thing
mean,
is,
you can be embarrassed about stuff that you like.
I
mean,
admit,
yeah,
like I
you
have,
should-
I
but
own
you
all
shouldn't
4
be.
books of that, and they're signed.
Like, because people
What?
like, what's your guilty pleasure? And it's like, you know what? One day I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna like what I like, and I don't care. Like,
okay, so
you know?
the reason I got the books in the first place, like the signed copies, is because at the time this is high school. And there was
Wait,
this
you
girl-
have signed copies of Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Dork,
guilty
dude.
pleasure.
but
Yeah,
but
guilty
I got
pleasure,
them.
Jesus.
Never mind. I take
Let
the
me-
guilty
let me-
pleasure thing back.
Let me finish this.
You should be ashamed.
There was a girl that I really liked, and she was like super into
Oh,
the
and
Twilight
you're trying
series.
to get it in.
I was, yeah. But then I realized the story for what it is not a bad like story.
No, that's the thing. Is it shittily written? Yeah, it's horrible.
It's
Like-
written for teenagers,
right.
Yeah.
But that's for what it is. That's what, like, something doesn't have to be everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, is the story entertaining? I can watch the fucking movies. I actually liked them. I thought, and I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan.
I like
Really?
Robert Pattinson,
Yes.
and
Did anybody see Batman?
Yeah,
Was it good?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did
Have you
really
seen
good at
Water
that.
for Elephants?
No.
What's her
good.
name?
Watch it.
Who
Have you seen
played
fucking,
who played
um,
Bella in the movies?
Kristen Stewart.
She's not a bad actor either. People give her shit for Twilight. I'm like,
Well, they
she
did-
nailed the role.
Brooding teenager. Dude, Robert Pattinson says he can't even look at it. He can't look at anything Twilight because it's like so embarrassing for him. I'm like, well, fuck, you were, well, he was actually like 27 when they made that, but he was like way older than
Is he like
everybody.
40 now?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, really?
But Water for Elephants, if you haven't seen that, he's amazing in that. The one about 9/11 that you don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
is
yeah.
about 9/11. Remember Me.
Yeah,
That
was
one
a
is
good
fucking
movie.
crazy
Yeah.
good too.
I haven't heard
good.
of any of this.
He is
And then-
after that whole, because I was kind of like, vampire boy, because obviously you don't watch Twilight and go, oh, he's amazing. But then like everything he did after that, I'm like, I'm a really big fucking fan of this guy. Like, I really do like
the
him.
thing about all those actors in that movie, I only know the two because
Main, yeah.
the two main actors, because I don't even know who all played everything. Like, obviously Anna Kendrick played.
Taylor Lautner was,
Oh yeah, he's a big one too. He played the
main
Jacob,
wolf?
the wolf guy.
yeah, and
played him, and
he actually kind of was in Adam Sandler's camp for a little bit.
yeah. And I didn't even know he really was an actor anymore until that.
He doesn't really
Movie?
do too much now. I
The
think
last
it's more
movie
of,
I
like,
remember him in
podcasts
is
and stuff.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I think that's the first movie I seen him in. That and he was
Dakota
in Spy
Fanning
Kids,
was
I
in
think.
it.
No, just Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Was it?
Dakota
that's a Spy
Fanning
Kids
was
movie,
one of
like-
the fucking scary vampires in it. She was
Yeah, but I mean, she doesn't. She has like limited parts in the movie. I'm talking people
Dakota
that are-
Fanning. She
Yeah,
was
like-
pretty heavily in the last couple.
Well, because that heavily centers around like the evil vampires. But
Yeah.
With
There wasn't
Kid-
any. There wasn't really a whole lot of. I think they kind of, on purpose, didn't put a bunch of famous people, already famous people. Everybody that's in that movie wasn't really famous before that movie,
but they all played
except
their
for
roles.
the dad, Bella's dad,
I don't know.
I don't
Charlie Swan.
Yeah.
I don't even know
that
who-
guy
I-
was a pretty famous actor.
Oh, was he? I don't even know who the hell that was. But people give shit to all these actors, but they all
Dude, you would take
nailed.
coin.
They all
I would
nailed
take the
their
coin.
parts.
I'd be in the worst movie ever if it got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
Well, and not just that, but like they nailed their parts as they were written.
Yeah, it was
Like-
supposed to be as bad as it was.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
the
supposed
point.
to be.
That's
So
the sad part.
Everything, almost everything we loved
Kristen
at that age
Stewart
was pretty
played
fucking
Snow
bad.
White in Snow White and the Huntsman,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and that was
With,
really good.
I actually never saw that.
That
was
was with,
actually pretty good.
Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Can you imagine
she
for
played
a
in this
second that you're
movie-
Liam Hemsworth, right? And you're so handsome and you're so like tall and you're famous and you're rich, but you have Chris Hemsworth as your brother, who's just more of all that. Wouldn't that fucking suck? Like it'd be okay, like yeah, like oh he got all the looks. Or, no, I got all the shit.
He
But
just
my
got more
brother
of
is
it.
Chris Hemsworth. Like that fucking sucks. Like I'd be really pissed. No, just kidding.
Dude, I don't know.
But wouldn't that be fucking awful? It's just like, man.
Yeah. Well, and then she,
Like, I am
Kristen
almost
Stewart
perfect.
was also in a movie called Open Road. I think that's what it was called.
That sounds familiar.
Or On the
That
Road.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Who? Oh, what?
Kristen Stewart. She was on in a movie called either was an On the
She,
Road or Open
she played
Road.
She's in a lot
Joan
of
Jett
shit.
too.
Yeah, and like in all these roles, she played very good. And that one, Open On the Road or Open Road, I can't remember which one it's called. I've seen it. It's a good movie. If you skip past the sex scenes that involve her, because she can't act at that part. Like that was the
She's
only.
like, oh yeah.
well,
You're like, well, they're not really having sex.
I'm not bringing it up. Like,
She's
it's-
like,
it's
oh,
little
give me
too-
a good old
risque.
fucking.
It's educational.
No, I don't want to
Bring it up.
She's
Dude,
she's like boss.
he's like,
from
I'm not
Boston.
bringing
oh,
that up.
crap.
I will bring
Oh,
it up. But
crap.
I don't know if I'll have to censor this.
Oh,
but
crap.
I'm not showing the video, obviously.
I said, bring it up. And he was like, I'm not bringing it up. And I was like, he did it.
He said it.
He said it.
Is it Stewart?
Why did it pop up as stuff
getting
you've already
plowed.
looked?
Yeah, no shit. I was like,
Why is the link purple?
Oh God, here goes.
New
I
porn
love
movie.
that it's like right there. Jesus.
Ah, it's like based on your previous history.
That's not what it is.
Yeah, sure.
That's not.
Why are they all
Actually, you know
purple?
what? It is true because I think she does have a threesome.
Kristen
in that movie,
Stewart
too.
receives 2 cocks in Snatch and Hot Dude.
on
Hot
What?
nude. Hot nude.
Oh, Hot Nude.
Oh God, I think this is it.
I was
Good
like,
job.
no, I'm pretty sure that's just a commercial.
That this is a commercial.
This is a commercial for a robot.
Yeah, there's definitely no way in hell.
Yeah. See, I had to pass the sex scene. I'm like, you can't. It's bad.
What is this from?
On the Road is what it's called.
You remember when you were younger and you always breathed way too heavy? You're like, I don't know why I can't breathe through my
I
nose.
still
right
do that, dude.
now. I feel
breathe
so
hard as fuck.
stupid.
Like,
I feel stupid when I do.
okay, that's enough.
Nice. I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Nice.
Well, no, yeah, like there was a scene in there where they're like, because she's in like love with the 2 main dudes, and they have like a open relationship between the 3 of them, right? In one scene, they're like driving down the road. She's sitting, right in the middle, shirtless, and I think they're completely naked, and she's got her hand behind the seats, and then she just goes down, and her hands just disappear, under the camera, and both of them just kind of, and she just starts giving them fucking hand jobs while they're driving.
I mean, one was driving, the other one was just hanging out.
Well, she was skiing.
Yeah.
Either way, but you get past all the
He's
sex
like a
scenes in
driver's
that,
ed car.
and it was
It's like,
actually
we're
a
both
really
driving.
good movie. Like she played a really good role in that. Like she's a good actor, and people think she's bad because she was like lifeless and emotionless in the movie Twilight. And I'm like, that was the part.
That was what she was
That's
supposed to do.
exactly the part.
See, the only thing that, like, I remember being young, and everyone was like, which side are you on? I was like,
Young.
neither. I don't fuck animals, and I don't fuck dead people.
Oh, Team Edward, by the way.
I was going to say, we all like
I
or hate
guess
the
if I'd have to
movies, but
choose,
you
yeah.
couldn't help
Yeah.
but pick a team. I was not about
So
Jacob,
it was
dude.
like the whole Harry
Fuck that
Potter
guy.
picking your house.
Team Edward.
Yeah, right.
Well, plus
Oh,
we were
no.
watching
We had a
it,
whole episode
so
we
were-
argued about that.
I was watching the movies that I hadn't seen, right? And then Jacob does, dude, this is so stupid to talk about. So Jacob, what do they call that when they imprint?
Oh, yeah.
kid.
Edward and Bella have a baby, and then Jacob imprints on the baby.
Baby,
Oh,
yeah.
And
what
I
an
was like,
asshole.
I looked at
Fuck
Courtney and I'm like, doesn't that mean like claim that like as like a mate? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. It was a mess when the books came out, and I was like, oh, ew. Like,
Yeah, but no one bats an eye that Edward is 200 years old and
He
she's
doesn't
16.
look it.
hey,
I'm
he
sorry.
became undead when he was 17. It's
I thought it was kind of hot.
I thought it was fucked up.
Speaking of the Twilight
that's-
things,
I
though,
mean,
so
the
I was
fucking-
in,
You have 250 years of courtship. Like, you know how to fuck. And you know how to, like, swoon women and shit. I think at
said
some point... Yeah, I did. I'm stumbling over here. Point
I'm gonna
is,
woot swoon the shit out of you.
swoon. Swoon is a thing.
Woot
You
swoon.
know how to woot women.
Woot, woot.
Zoot.
But
Right.
the point here is, like, he's got all this time.
Can
he
we
knows how
make
to do
Gavin's
these
shirt
things.
say woot swoon?
Swoon.
And the thing is that he was still basically losing to a dog.
Yeah.
See, here's the
I
thing.
was like
Here's the
200
thing.
years and you still
I
can't
had,
get laid.
you know, Blake's right. You had to choose a team.
No,
And I
didn't,
chose.
but-
No, you did. You
Yeah,
did.
everybody with even
some
if you were
point,
sitting
everyone
there
did, yeah.
like these
Yeah.
movies are fucking gay or whatever
Yeah.
we said, you were kind of like, nah, that guy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in
100%.
Yeah,
some
Jacob.
regards, yeah.
I was a
Gavin's
team-
gonna
I was
hit us
team
with-
Jacob.
What's his favorite? Are
You were
serious?
Team Jacob?
I was.
Oh man.
See, that was the one thing that I think was poorly done is that they made you hate Jacob. Like as the reader, you were like, he's annoying. You had fully invested into Edward and Bella, and they're like, oh yeah, there's this douchebag that's gonna take his shirt off. Also, he's better looking than everyone. You're like, how am I supposed to get on board with that?
Well, I think the thing
And-
about it was.
but there
is-
wasn't anything good about him. He didn't like ever make you go, oh, maybe he's better for Bella. You're just like, get the fuck out of here, you whiny bitch. He whined the
hey,
whole time.
You know what?
Zach sitting there
What
like,
sold
I
me-
feel like me and him are a lot alike.
He was watching it.
Well, we both are.
I can fix him.
I can
I can fix him.
He's the guy without a job.
Zach's like, I want to dry my beard on his fucking abs.
I did.
Ew.
Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? Like we I would have said I don't care up until this point, but he said that and it like changed the way I see him now.
See,
a little bit.
Blake seems
Yeah,
like
like-
Blake seems like a Team Jacob guy.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, no, I didn't like him.
You seem
man.
like a Team Jacob.
Well,
guy.
Really?
my reasoning for choosing him was he was human.
We should
But
be
he
Edward
wasn't.
and Jacob
He
for
was
Halloween
human.
next year.
I
He's
do
part-
that.
That'd
yeah.
be a good
No.
fucking costume.
Edward is a fucking human. He's just dead.
No. See, he is like
No.
Edward's a vampire. Like when he got that venom or whatever, in
Which
him,
is
it changed his
basically just
DNA.
an undead human who knows how to
Dude.
woot swoon.
I can
ladies.
Woot swoon, bruh.
Swoon.
I can already feel the Jeff and Greg memes for this episode.
Yep, me too.
Oh my god.
That's fine. Yeah, but you know
We
what?
caught so much shit for the Harry Potter
Hey,
house one.
You know what though, Jeff and Greg? At least we have more than 13 years to live. So
Damn.
Yep. And
that seems
I would like
generous.
to point out that we have fun on our podcast.
We do.
And, you know, they sound like they're always talking kind of like this.
Theirs is scripted, basically.
Is it?
We've been there.
Yeah,
We've
it is.
been there.
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's I mean, you could like everything that happens in every episode to the minute happens every single time. Ours is different every time.
And on Easily Offensive, we call that what? Fucking boring.
I didn't
See,
I thought you were
I
gonna
would
hit,
try.
I thought
I
you were
was
gonna hit us
waiting,
with a say it with me right
I
there.
was waiting. I was waiting for it. That's why
No,
I
I
didn't
did
even try
because I
again.
thought you guys would be like, oh, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, we were
So,
like
anyway, see? Nobody knew what I was going to say because you can't predict anything on Easily Offensive.
yeah, you
Fucking
can't.
wild card.
You can
Except for
predict everything else.
racism and bigotry and acts of violence.
So Efren, what house are you in? I gotta ask.
Did you say acts of violence?
Acts
Okay,
of
good,
violence.
good.
What do you think I said?
Uh,
I wasn't sure.
What
I don't know
what
what
house?
you're
Something
about.
that
Yeah.
rhymes with axe.
Slytherin.
Slytherin. I was gonna guess that.
100%.
I was gonna guess that.
100%.
1000%. Yeah.
What house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Slytherin.
Dylan, what
Potter.
house are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know?
No.
What house do you think I would be in?
Hufflepuff.
Why?
Oh, yeah, why?
Shots.
And why is that always offensive too?
Why is it? Because it sounds bad.
No. See, and here's the thing: is Hufflepuff was just
Why
filled
did
with
everybody
stoners.
say that right away?
I didn't say Hufflepuff.
I didn't either.
Who do you think?
Who do I think? I think you're just a happy-go-getter. So honestly, now that I'm actually putting thought into
Fucking
it,
Hufflepuff.
I can see it. But I could also see you being a part of
Hufflepuff?
Gryffindor.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Everett and I said it right.
Yeah, we said it
together.
at the exact same time. Yeah.
And so everybody thinks I'm in Hufflepuff?
Yeah.
No?
Blake?
I don't know if I've got an educated enough opinion on it.
Oh, what
To
a
be
puss.
I took the extensive, like the long
Yeah.
fucking quiz too.
Yeah.
on
Okay.
Pottermore.
I-
On
or whatever.
Pottermore.
Yeah.
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 Ravenclaw.
Oh,
Ravenclaw.
okay.
Me
I was
too.
just guessing.
nice.
Guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the odd man
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I did the.
Yeah, I
Dude,
would.
and I was stoked when I thought. I was
Yeah, I
like,
did the. I did it on the Pottermore right before Harry Potter came out, the Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I got
nice.
Slytherin, and then I got my Patronus was a wolf. Like, fuck.
I
Oh,
can't remember my
damn.
Patronus.
I took it. I took
Oh,
the
yeah.
quiz on some thing website.
You're
We took it.
Gryffindor, right?
We took it
Zach,
on the
are you-
podcast. You took it on
What
the
are you-
podcast.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Zachary?
I've done it a couple times.
Slytherin.
You're Slytherin too?
And my Patronus was a dragon.
Hey, I'd
Fuck yeah.
slither into your.
I think the one that I got had like a dragon heartstring.
I'd
or something.
slither
I
into your
don't.
bed.
I don't
and
remember seeing.
Catch me dragging
that.
my nuts on
I don't
your
know.
face.
I
Oh,
don't
my,
know
my
what
wand
that
was
God.
an elder
Got
wand
him.
with
yeah. Got him under his breath.
dragon heartstring. as
Yeah.
well.
Fuck yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right, we
worked
can,
out.
we can get away from the nerdy stuff if we
Yeah,
want.
that turned.
Yeah.
We started talking about football, and it took a hard left.
Bring
You
the
were
score.
like, this
bring
is
the
the
score
people
back
they
up,
beat
Zach.
up.
Bring the score back up.
Them
Until
football
we
players.
are looking up more shit.
That was
Oh shit!
wild.
I totally went away from it.
They had caught up. That's why I'm like.
Oh, they did catch up.
Oh wow.
Well, look at that. We're back on sports.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So,
Shut the fuck up, Gavin.
okay. So, does anybody have any kind of topic they want to just kind of go over?
You know, I asked you guys that 2 days ago, and nobody said shit. So I don't think
Yeah, but
so.
that was 2 days
Well,
ago.
we can talk about California laws. How about that, Zach?
Talk about what?
Why are we
California
going
laws?
Why?
Because
Why would
every
you do
time
that?
we bring up California laws, they're always wrong.
Yeah. And it also makes me look awful.
Yeah, they do.
You know, at least
I don't know.
it's
I
not.
I do wish we had come prepared with something, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
I don't know. Maybe you know what?
Making the
We
old
could
hot
interview
air.
old Efren here, like we did Dad.
All right, you go for it, Blake. You start with an interview question.
Don't do that to me.
No. You started it, Blake. So yeah, you
I
start.
made the suggestion.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
somebody else start.
No, you follow through. God, this is
I don't have anything prepared.
that doesn't matter. It's
You're good at thinking
it's
stuff
an
on the fly.
interview.
I
It's
know.
an interview. You just ask random
I know
questions.
Efren too well.
But we
Yeah.
don't.
We haven't known each other for a while.
Yeah, long
No,
time.
no.
So like you guys that know him less, ask him about the crimes he's done or something.
Because that seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I think we've all known Efren the same amount of time except for Dylan.
I don't think
You've
so.
probably known him longer than us.
Really?
You worked at Center Partners.
Did you guys know each other there?
I don't think so.
You never
I
met
don't
each other.
think.
You don't seem
don't
like
think so.
somebody that Efren would want to talk to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no.
Is it
No.
because he's white?
No. It's just back then.
I think we interacted a few times. We're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
partners
Probably
together.
like just having it like during.
Did
a
you
smoke
say
break or
like,
some shit.
why are you hanging onto your hair so hard or something like that?
Another time I was too. Like I had the long
Just
black
let it
hair.
You
go,
say
bro.
every day he
Just-
walks in, he's like, just let it go, man.
Just
That-
froze in it, my dude.
I was still like I was transferring. I was transitioning from that emo phase into what I am now.
Yeah.
Redneck ginger.
Redneck ginger. Did what? Yeah.
You know what's sad is when we call you a redneck ginger, you really have redneck hair. Your hair on your neck is red.
Really?
I know. I was just like, it's a real like fucking thing. Usually, you just call somebody a redneck because you know.
Okay,
They're a
so
hick.
I got something. So you and Dylan have been best friends for like a long time. now.
BNFLs, yes.
How long has it been?
12 years?
12
Yeah,
years.
12
Where did you
years.
guys? Was it met? Did you meet band related or was
We
it something
didn't
else?
want to meet.
No.
We were set up.
Yeah.
You were set.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
was back in like CenturyLink.
It's a funny story because we did not want to do.
Or not CenturyLink.
we
Center
Okay.
Partners.
So yeah, take it
Yeah.
away.
So it was back during Center Partners. See, I knew Courtney longer than I knew Dylan, but it wasn't like that. We were like we knew each other. It was more of like work acquaintances.
Okay.
Like smoke break.
Sure.
Smoke shack stuff. And then I knew Ben. I went and saw one of their old band shows in Salt Lake.
Okay. Yeah.
And then a couple months went by. They broke up, like his old band did.
Yeah.
And then Benny and I would just used to hang out and talk about like playing music and
Sure.
just jamming out and stuff. And then one day he came up and he's like, "Hey, you play drums? Do you want to like join up with this like project I got going on?" I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Cool. I'm gonna give you the address to my buddy Dylan. He's our guitarist. He's gonna jam with you and stuff. I'll be there." And then what was it, like the day of, right? Ben's like, "Oh, I can't make it."
Yeah, Ben messages. He sets this whole
Yeah.
thing up. Me and Efren have never met.
Never. Yeah.
As he started saying that, I knew what Ben was going to do.
Yeah, and Ben was like, yeah, Ben was just like, out of nowhere, like, I can't make it today, so
Yeah.
Efren will be there at whatever time. And I'm like, fuck. Like,
Yeah. So then my
like I have to audition this guy that I don't know.
yeah. So at the time I had this like really janky drum kit, and I had it at Blackfoot at like an old friend's house, and then I had to load it up in my old Silverado, and then
Dude,
Chevy Silverado.
worst thing ever to come over like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to come over and audition and set all this shit up
Yeah, yeah.
in a guy's house that I don't know. And it's like drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how it
That's
was.
exactly. And
That's
I
how
was
it was.
like, and neither one of us had the attitude that this was going to go well at all.
Yeah, because like in my mind, I was like, "Oh fuck, well, I guess we'll see how this goes."
Right,
You know,
yeah.
and then like I forgot my drum throne, so then I had to use
So he had to play on a bucket.
fucking bucket
Of
yeah.
everything you forgot.
He's
Yeah, I
like,
forgot a fucking-
I forgot my throne. I'm like, God damn, this fucking
Like this guy's a fucking
Yeah.
amateur.
Yeah. Well, then he's like, all right, cool. And then we just like kind of just started jamming out. Like I just kind of started going nuts, and then he started ripping it, and I was like, that is actually pretty dope. And then we're like, all right, cool. I guess we'll just like plan on meeting up this weekend, and then we did, and then we just like had a
He's
few.
like,
drinks.
do you want me to pack up? I don't know. You can leave your drums here if you wanted to. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you guys like hit it off that day? Or
Yeah,
you
we
just,
did.
like-
Yeah.
He came over and first of all, we just hit it off personality wise.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this guy's way cool. For some reason, when you meet like that in the music scene, you're just like, this guy's gonna be a fucking douche.
Yeah.
Because like we auditioned so many different dudes, so many different times for so many different things,
Yeah.
and so many of them were just unbearable fucking assholes.
Really?
Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so much, especially at that age, you're just out to be the best.
You're trying to be the
And
best. Yeah.
when
that's
you
what-
meet somebody that's better than you can't accept it
No.
at that for some reason, you know.
Because
Now,
there's
it's-
gonna be so
That's
many.
what's so much cooler about now is like you meet somebody and if they're an amazing musician, you're only stoked about it. Back
Right.
then, you're like, fuck, fuck.
Like when
I
they're
need to be better.
clearly
fuck.
better than you, and
just
you're
get
like-
pissed and you get jealous and all this
Yeah.
shit. And so the likelihood that they are not a pleasant person to be around is very high. So it was really cool when he first got there and we talked and it was like, okay, like you seem cool and you seem cool.
Yeah, and then we like
And
just started
then
talking about like our favorite
The
bands.
big
and stuff.
thing is when you play together.
Yeah.
Because you can have a very good friend and you just don't jive musically.
Yeah. Okay.
And me and F just jammed. We didn't have anything prepared. Neither one of us were very experienced in playing with other people. He
Right.
had more experience than I did at that. I only had the first band. I'd only ever played with Sean.
yeah.
And so I struggled I had jammed with other drummers very little, and I always found it to be a struggle. And so when we played together, and it was like, I mean, we probably played for an hour,
Yeah.
just jamming out and
Yeah.
stuff, and it was like, okay, we made some pretty cool stuff happen right there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because we were just like
it
you were
just
just
felt-
writing random. Like you were just like, I'm just gonna play this and then follow along.
yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
And neither one of us have what you would call like normal like time signatures.
yeah, they're fucking all over the place.
Yeah, and
Time
my
signature is how many beats or in a measure.
That's what I
of
thought.
time.
yeah, yeah.
and so
music.
I like to write
Like-
really odd,
Like drums
signatures.
going fours.
Drums,
Right?
no,
Like,
time
generally-
signatures
But
could be
Efren
funky.
is a highly creative drummer. He's not concerned with like playing as fast as you possibly can or doing. He's a very highly creative drummer. He wants his parts to be super good, super unique. And so when I come to him with some bullshit time signatures, he's like, "Bro, okay, I need like one more beat right here,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I can work with you." And so like we'll tweak it that way. And we've never been afraid to like if he shows me something and I'll be like, I'm not really
Right.
feeling it. He's like, okay, cool.
And I think
then-
that's the biggest reason as to like why like you and I have been able to like write so much is because nowadays there's so many people that get so offended. Like guitarists have big egos, drummers do too. Like I feel like when it comes to music, it's like those two have like
Those are the
biggest.
yeah.
Because like you have some guitarists that want to just be the lead guitarist, and that's all they want to do, right? Like that's
Right.
all they care about. They want to just riff and solo and just come up with
They
crazy
want to
shit.
have that title.
Yeah. And so like if you, like, and I've played with guitarists in the past where I'm like, hey man, like this is a good part. What if we like rein it in a little bit and then do this? And it's like, no, I can't do that because I'm the lead, and it just turns into a bunch of issues. And with Dylan, it's always been super cool because he'll come up with the riff, and then if it's batshit crazy, I'm like, this is dope. How about you change this? And
He'll pull me in on timing.
yeah,
and
and
shit.
then we'll fuck around with it. Or if I'm playing something on the drums, like he said, it'll be like, how about we do this, or we change it up, and it's like, yeah, we'll
when
try
I can
it.
speak to him
then-
in drums, like
Yeah.
one of the coolest things that I discovered musically was I got the anthology for the Beatles, right? And that's another thing is Efren and I don't agree on everything. We're actually polar opposites. He's a Bears fan. I'm a Green Bay fan. He's a short Mexican guy. I'm a tall white guy. Like almost every, he likes really, really heavy music. I like folk music.
Yeah.
But we do have paths that cross.
Right.
Like
Yep.
some of our favorite bands are both of our favorite bands.
Right.
And some of our, but what's important to us musically is all the same. But I have the Beatles anthology, and love them or hate them, the Beatles are one of the most influential bands
Oh, for sure.
that have ever walked the planet. And when you listen to the anthology, they don't cut out the pieces between the recording, so you get the 5 minutes between when they're not recording
Right.
the song.
Yeah.
And it's literally John Lennon and Paul McCartney sitting there going, okay, this bit over here, it's going to go ta 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 ta. And then on the guitar, you're going to kind of do that one of the bang a ding a ding a ding. And that's how they wrote the greatest songs on the that have ever been. And so when you're sitting down there with your he's my John Lennon, and we're doing our thing, it's like we can speak to each other like that.
Right.
And it doesn't sound stupid. It doesn't sound like gibberish. It's like that's how we talk to each other.
Yeah, and like, and what's cool is like the majority of the songs that we wrote, half the time we would just come up with like random ass names for certain parts, and then we'd be like, "Hey, play
bro, dude, our fucking whiteboard was
we had
mess.
this giant ass
It was
drywall
a piece of
piece.
it was a piece of melamine.
Yeah.
So it was that particle board, but it had the laminate on
The
it.
white laminate,
So you
yeah.
could write on it with a dry erase marker and then just wipe it off later.
And we just had like
We just screwed the shit to the wall.
we just had like random ass parts because like Dylan or like our buddy Brad, who was our rhythm guitarist in that band, they like these guys would just write random parts, and then they'd be like, "Hey, we wrote this," and then they'd show them like, "All right, cool," and then I have to sit there and try to play it on the drums, like.
And we
"All right,
just
we'll name
relate it
this."
like Brad wrote a riff one time while we were eating Oreos.
Yeah.
And
we were
so
all
that
snacking on
part
Oreos,
was-
yeah, and that part was known as
We
the Oreo
called
song.
it Oreo.
Yeah.
That part, and we wrote Oreo on the board, and everybody knew what part it was.
Just because by association you knew what was
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
just you would do that, and so this whiteboard would say like intro, and then it would say fast paced tremolo,
Yeah.
and then it'd say Oreo, and then it'd say like graveyard beat, and then it'd say like all these fucking things.
But you
And
guys
if you
knew how to
read
read
the
it.
board, you'd be like, "What the fuck
What does
is
this
that?"
mean?
Like
Yeah.
it's like a list of random shit.
And then we had like other parts, and we'd be like, "What if we add fucking that part to after Oreo?" And then we try it. No, that's not going to work. And then we had a couple of buddies that were also musicians who would come and hang out with us while we would write, and they'd look at the whiteboard that we had, and they'd be like, "The fuck is all this?" And then they'd see the way that we would write shit, or like one song we wrote completely backwards.
yeah, we started. At
we
the
started
end.
with the ending breakdown.
We did that on purpose
Yeah,
too. We
yeah.
were just like, let's write something, and we'll write a part, and then we'll write what we think would.
be before it, like that
Yeah.
would lead into, like that would the ending would lead up.
Whatever
Yeah, we
Yeah.
work backwards on that.
and we did.
yeah.
We wrote, and that was one of our better
Yeah,
songs
yeah.
too. It was pretty fucking
I
cool.
wish
how
for
it
a
all came
long
out.
time that you guys were able to continue doing that longer, because it was like such a strange but fun period.
Yeah.
Like even during my life, because I didn't really have anything going on besides like I was becoming an adult or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool to be not a part of that, like just adjacent to it, and I was
I would
like
say you were a part of it.
a small part of it. Like I felt like a roadie
Those are
actually.
important.
Like,
A roadie,
Yeah,
more
I
than
mean,
anything, a
you were
roadie.
there doing all that shit.
yeah, I was at
So-
like very many shows.
I was
like
at a lot of
helping,
your guys'
like,
shows too.
Did you come to a lot of the?
I went to every one of your guys' Pocatello shows, every one of your Idaho Falls shows.
I went to most of the Salt Lake ones too, but all but
Did you
one,
go to
I
the
think.
first band shows?
The what?
My first band. Did you
No.
know any of those?
No.
So pretty much all Tomorrow of the World.
Yeah, it was all Tomorrow of the World, and I was bitter because I watched your guys' bass player, and I was like, I am so much better than him.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Who was that?
Richard.
Oh yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember who it was.
And
He wasn't technically a bass player.
And I had my own equipment
That's
too.
what we had open.
Yeah.
I
At
didn't
the
know you
time.
played bass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
I pictured
'cause you
Zach
were in band.
being like, I could be a part of this, and like popping out his
Well,
saxophone.
like the best.
Well, so I had a saxophone, but I that was my main instrument was a saxophone, but because I learned how to play the upright bass in orchestra,
Oh yeah.
transitioning to an electric bass was so fucking easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a really nice PV that was
Nice.
all like wood finish on it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I had a stack for myself.
Well, we didn't even because at the time we didn't need a bassist because Ben was the original bassist.
Yeah,
And
Ben
then-
was Ben. We were auditioning vocalists.
Yeah, and it sucked, and we
It
went through
was-
so many people, and it was fucking
that was
hell.
brutal.
That was like the last straw was.
Well, and then finally, we had that last guy who was terrible.
Yeah.
And he comes in to audition, and we're on like guy number fucking 12.
Yeah.
And vocalists in Idaho are just almost all awful. Like there's some diamonds in the rough, but
Right.
mostly. And so this finally this one guy comes in. These guys all fucking disappeared because they were so sick of hearing shitty vocalists.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting in alone in a room with this guy, and right before he auditions, and this is my biggest fucking pet peeve, almost half of them go, "I've been a little sick," so and I'm like, that just means you suck. You're just giving yourself a little bit of suck leeway.
It happened all the time where they came in and
Yeah, they'd
told
be
Yeah.
like, "Well, I haven't been feeling too good," and it's like, "No, it's because you know that you're not going to be as good as I want you to be." And so this guy, like, I was like, "Okay, whatever, let's just hear it." And he does a Bullet for My Valentine's song,
Yeah.
which
That's
I
why
can
I
hear you
left.
crying. In the back.
That's why as soon as I heard, I'm like, I'm just
And
gonna
so
throw out real quick.
He finishes his thing, and I'm sitting there alone. I'm tired. I'm pissed off. I've seen so many goddamn awful vocalists in the last 3
Like
days.
3 days, yeah.
And he's like, "All right." And I'm like, "Okay, so you said you were sick?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of getting over it." I'm like, "Okay, so what percent would you say your voice is at right now?" He's like, "I'd say like 85, 90%. I feel pretty good about that." I was like, "Okay." That sounded like 50 to me. And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "If that was 50%, then I'd be like, come back when you feel better." But it's just not good, man.
You were
He's like-
being Simon Cowell.
Yeah,
on it.
and
You're
he's
just
like-
like, I'm
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Dude,
done.
it's honestly way better
And I
than
was
being like, we'll call you.
You know, I was like, it's just I don't do that. So more power to you. Go keep practicing, keep up.
but you're not there yet.
But you're not there yet. You're not what we're looking for. And that guy left. You guys came out of the other room, and I was like, "Ben, what are we doing? We
Yeah.
could be auditioning fucking bass players."
And
right
then
now."
yeah, Ben, like I think one of the songs that we had like wrote and there were vocals to it, Ben just played them without bass, and then we're like, okay, so Ben's the vocalist,
yeah.
like that's
like just like Ben's vocalist,
And then Richard was hanging around, and Richard was like dying to be
yeah,
involved with us.
yeah.
and, they
And
were
so
just
it was like, and Richard isn't a bass player. He wasn't a bass player. He's
I could tell.
yeah,
I
which
could tell.
is fine.
I could tell when
We
he was
weren't
using,
looking for fucking Geddy Lee. You know what I mean?
right. And I
so
could tell when he was using a
He
pick on
knows
his bass.
what the
It's
notes do. He can follow the notes on like the things we were playing. He could at least follow the notes and write a bass part. It wasn't like groundbreaking shit, but
Yeah.
he got to be involved.
So like
We
right
needed
before a show
somebody to
starts,
play
you
it,
guys
you
are
know,
like,
so-
"Oh, 1 second," you go and unplug it.
So you didn't think to like audition for a bass player?
No, because Richard was there and Richard was able.
right,
So it
and
was
willing.
like-
so
It was like
because at that time
it
we
was
were-
easier. And honestly, if I have a friend who is really fucking good. He's one of the best bass.
Okay, he's probably better
Players.
than me. I'm not saying I was good, like
This
the
guy,
best, but I was.
Effer
Yeah.
knows who I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking
I was
about.
good,
And
but not
he's
like
really,
amazing.
really fucking good. But I really liked him. He's a really good dude. But as a musician, I couldn't stand him for that long.
Okay, and that would
Just
you guys need to jive.
It's crazy
Yeah.
how much that matters because
Oh, no,
you
it does.
can't just
And
have
so-
anybody in
because
there.
I could have called this guy, but I knew that it was going to be kind of a headache.
And that's what I'm saying. Like going back to what we said earlier, like it's so hard finding musicians that you can mesh with.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and that's the thing is that it's so important. It's more important because Efren and I know Efren has an arsenal of guitar players that are better than me that he could call at any time.
but you guys are
But he would rather play with me
because you guys jive together. You
because
guys-
we're
yeah.
musical brothers.
You're
That's what I call it.
you're Lennon and McCartney.
Yeah, and it's just I can come to him, we flow, we jive, we like the same shit. If something's dirty and nasty, we look at each other and we have the same fucking look on our face because we feel the same thing.
Yeah.
I've never had a part where I'm like, dude, this is fucking good, and he goes, eh.
Right.
Like if I think it's fucking good, Efren thinks it's
I think it's
good.
fucking dope.
because
It
we're
was
just on the same page.
That was a perfect example. Was like when we wrote Alpaca. Fucking the best song.
Dude, that thing got vetoed so hard. So you probably remember, our band was heavy as fuck.
Oh, very, very.
All of
very
our
heavy.
songs were heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
I had one from the previous band that I had started, and my previous band didn't let me do shit. Like, I had all this stuff that I wanted to do because I'm ready to explore musically, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up a metal kid. I grew up with rock and fucking Meatloaf and fucking Little River Band and all this shit. And Efren grew up with, I mean, he likes Motley Crue and fucking Bullet for My Valentine. And then now he likes like Lorna Shore and fucking Die Hard is Murder and
Shadow of Intent.
Shadow and heavy
Within
shit.
the Ruins.
Within
Yeah.
the Ruins, so good.
So
Fucking
between
love
his
it.
spectrum and my spectrum, we touch all of it.
Yeah.
Everything. Except for country music. But no, so where was I going with that?
Fuck, we don't know.
Oh, Alpaca, yeah. So I had this one that I was trying to sell to my previous band, and they weren't buying. And so when we started Tomorrow the World, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're doing this goddamn song because I want to. I was like, I got a riff, and I want to show it to you guys. And I knew Ben was like not going to be...
Ben wasn't into
yeah,
it.
he wasn't into it. So it was just pretty much an 80s thrash song.
Yeah.
And we played it a couple times.
Yeah, we played it a few times.
But it was like standard tuning, and it was like just full on. Like it started with like a guitar slide, like it was literally the cheesiest fucking 80s thrash song of all time.
Yeah.
But it fucking slapped. It was fucking good.
It was so
And
good.
so I remember when I first fucking did that, and just every bit of Motley Crue fan and fucking.
I lost.
Is
Is there
80s.
any way that we could bring up some of these right now? Like and play like little bits of it? Is there anything we can access?
We have a professional recording of Fresh Batch of Peanut Brutal.
I can.
don't know
I
about
think
the
it's
live
on,
stuff.
I think
but
it's on. I don't know if we have live stuff. but I'm
anyway,
pretty
when
sure-
I first hit that riff, dude, Efren's face just lit up. He was like, "Fuck yeah, we're doing this."
I think it's on Facebook.
Yeah, if you search for it on Facebook, the Reverb Nation link comes up.
Yeah.
I remember
Well-
when you guys were on Reverb Nation and like you guys were doing so good on there.
That was when Love Meets Destruction.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh yeah, that and didn't that get up to like number one?
We
at
were
one point?
we were number one
out
in
of
the
like
metal
900
genre.
bands or something.
No,
like,
like thousands.
that? Okay, yeah.
We put like our demo, and dude, I can't even listen to them. They're
And
so
see,
bad.
I was of When Love Meets Destruction. I actually didn't mind the band.
Yeah, I mean,
I hated the bassist for them.
Oh yeah. That's right there.
personally,
Huh? I'm pretty sure the bassist for When Love.
Oh, you've got it.
If I remember the dude's name, his name was
Could Zach look it up
Jesse,
on
right?
our on Facebook?
No.
on here?
Yeah.
no,
Zach, bring up Facebook.
I'm on
that's
Facebook
his
right now.
brother.
Did you send it to the?
Oh no. So you might be able to search it. Just search for Tomorrow the World.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is that I had both of your guys' bands
Oh, I follow
on
you guys
Facebook.
still, I
like
think
I
still.
liked them and I was following them all the time.
Who?
Yeah,
Your-
see, I'm
both your
still
bands.
following.
Oh,
Hell
really?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you
I
just
didn't
go back-
in the
even.
day.
This is the funny
And just
part, though.
scroll
I didn't
down.
know either of you,
Just keep going.
and I
all the way
barely
down.
knew Blake.
Oh, yeah.
And that band,
was one of our-
both of those bands came up, and I was
Mexican,
like, "Oh, these guys are good."
Oh, sweet.
And then like that's
Pop
that
this up
night.
real
That's the
quick.
only way I could actually find you guys was on Facebook. which kind of like deterred me in the sense of like
it's not
constantly
gonna-
listening
of
to you
course
guys
Yeah.
because I was just like, this is more work to find
Yeah,
your work.
it sucked
than-
back then. It was like
'Cause it
that
was hard.
kind of before it was easy to find shit.
Yeah, no shit, exactly. Like because now you can just drop it on Spotify or
Oh, that's
something,
not it. That was just
and
a-
it just gets
One of those
everywhere.
Shows keep going.
Right there.
Right here, Favorite Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna take a quick break, guys, and when we get back in, we'll listen to
Parts of it.
Fresh batch peanut brutal.
I'm sure we can listen to the whole song.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess
We
you guys
got
are
two of the members
Yeah.
in here. Like, what are they gonna? You guys gonna like copyright
Sue
claim
ya?
us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we
Fuck
own
yeah, dude. You know how bad that band's doing right now? That 808 in there. was my breathing debut. Yeah, for some reason, the guy that does all those vocals on that track could not nail the breathing.
Yep.
He was just like,
I stepped up when I
Too
when I
much
was
teeth.
needed most.
Yeah, what was it? Too much teeth was one of the things.
I don't know what it
I
was.
think one of them was that he was adding too much teeth.
Yeah, he couldn't get it in there, so
man,
I was the designated Tomorrow the World breather.
Yep.
that
awesome.
brought me back to wanting to be in the pit.
Oh, dude,
That song goes hard
I was
as fuck.
going to the shows like that. I was the dude who would like do like the goofy moves going
Hell
through
yeah.
the pit.
Mhm.
Like everyone's there like fucking just pushing, shoving, throwing their head around, and I'm just like doing like a little through the pit.
You're the
Like,
one that
what
like as a drummer playing, like you would just point a stick at a dude, like that guy right there. Like that's the dude.
There was one of your guys' shows where this one dude kept almost running into your merch table, like over and over again, where everybody's girlfriends, mom, sisters, whoever was sitting behind it, and he like just kept getting right there. And then I was there with my friend Bronson at the time, and finally we got pissed. And he ran up once, and we just threw him on the ground. Like we just grabbed him and just threw him flat on the
Blake
ground.
always makes sure nothing went too wrong in the pit.
See now
was
if I went
fun,
to a
man.
show like that, I'd do a really
You do
really
the old man grab your back and walk.
no.
away. You're
I would
like,
do
"Oh,
I would do a
fuck."
really bad white person version of the gritty through a mosh pit.
yeah. Dude, that would be funny. That's one thing I definitely never saw. The gritty wasn't
My-
big back then.
I do want to go to like a really heavy concert and wear those T-Rex.
Suits.
Oh, like-
and
Yeah.
just get thrown in, like just don't
Just
give
fucking
a fuck.
mosh in
for it.
there.
Yeah, like just
I don't
Dude,
think
that would
I-
be fucking tight. I think
Right.
that'd be so cool.
I think the last show I went that I vividly remember is the show you guys did at the Elks Lodge in Pocatello.
Yeah.
Chelsea
with
Grin
Chelsea
one?
Grin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
who,
one
who
was
was all there?
good.
Was I Declare War there?
No,
No,
we
yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
And I think Upon
It
This
was-
Dawning
it
was.
was-
Oh,
there
you know
too.
what it
Yeah.
was? I didn't watch I Declare War because they were dicks to me the first time I played with them with my
I
other
know.
band.
And I know you guys played there, and then
Mm-hmm.
Casey, the guy who made our intro,
Yeah.
his band played there too, and I think it was called These Cities Passing,
I think.
or it was something like that. But he was there. You guys were there. You guys were the two local bands. Because I
Yeah.
think it was Chelsea Grin, I Declare War.
When did we play with Sea Swallowed Us Whole there?
And
It was before we played with Chelsea Grin.
That's what I thought. Yeah, they were fucking.
That
great.
the when we played with Sea Swallow.
Upon This Dawning
Yeah.
and
We-
fucking
we
at the Skylines played.
at the Skylines, yeah.
those are the
yeah.
those are the four big bands that played there.
That and that was
you
a
guys were
good
there.
one because those bands didn't want to switch out gear. They didn't want to wait,
Yeah.
and so we played with their gear.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, because their gear was more expensive than ours.
Yeah, I think I
So-
remember you
That
talking
was
about
a
that.
really good show.
Yeah.
You're
And,
like, I like this.
the
more
thing
than
about that
much.
show
Yeah, we
was
did
is-
sound check. We played a new song. We played Empire,
Yeah.
and we played it up front that time, and it was oh my god.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
looking
sometimes
at-
the equipment does make the band.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these past
Hell yeah,
performances
dude.
here on the Reverb Nation. I went to every single one of those shows at the Wax House. Every single one of them.
That's fucking
I was-
awesome.
Big into watching you guys. Well, and it's because, Richard was my friend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's still kind of my friend. I just don't see him very often.
Yeah,
Or Vod, or however he wants to go by nowadays.
It's Richard.
It's Richard to me. But,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway,
But, yeah, I went to a lot of your guys' shows. And that was the music. That's the music I really like, is that the kind of music that it punches you in the face.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking
fun to
here.
play.
It is. It's super fun to play.
It's very fun to play. It's
That song reminded me why I used to listen to that kind of thing.
but it
exclusively.
was fun because so we found this local guy to record it, and he was a fair price, and so we met up with him, and we didn't really know what we were getting into, and apparently this guy didn't either. So we showed up to his house. He was this very Mormon guy,
Oh,
and we
oh,
showed up
no.
to his house, right? And
Yeah.
there's, I mean, just a super LDS family.
Pictures of Jesus.
And you
And
guys
he's
looked
got-
how you
He's
looked.
got a setup in their basement, and he records musicians,
Yeah.
but apparently nothing like that before, right?
What
So
did-
we
what
come
was-
in, and he's a super chill dude.
So nice,
So
yeah.
cool. His name was Ken. I can't remember his last name. Was it Donahue?
No. Started with a D.
Was it Donahue?
No.
Anyway.
So this guy Ken,
Just
we
Ken.
go in, we start playing. We played him. I think we played for him first.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, I thought you guys were like a rock band. And we're like, technically, I mean, this is a under that umbrella, I would say, you know. And he's like, I've never. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. You know?
He was super pumped afterwards.
And
yeah.
dude, as soon as we started recording, this guy was like, you could tell, never listened to metal, never recorded metal, never
Nope.
had anything to do with metal,
Nope.
and he's just in there going like, "This
He was
is
super
cool,
into
like this is really cool."
The best part was after that when we first played with him, or like when we were getting ready to record, he was like, "Yeah, just like write down your guys' like tempos, like if you guys have any tempo changes and stuff like that, we'll do that."
Yeah, and we were like,
So-
"There's no, I
Well,
don't think there's any tempo change."
So yeah, so Ben and I got together the night before, and we were like, "Yeah, we got like 3 tempo changes throughout the whole song." And he's like, "All right, cool,
this
cool,
is
cool."
where we learned. Ken taught us some stuff about
Yeah.
music too.
So
when we were in there.
we go to like I start playing the drums because that's what tracked first, and then I played like the first 2 minutes, and he's like, "Okay, in those first 2 minutes, you've had like 6 changes." I'm like, what?
What?
No, like I only done it like twice.
No,
He's like,
we
no.
didn't.
There's a lot more than that. So we had like that. That was where I discovered what tempo changes.
So
and
were you
shit
like
were.
you tell us then because
we did too,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was like a trained musician.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, you know what? You got to school us a little bit on this stuff because
Yeah.
we're all just self-taught dudes that wrote this song and we need you to record it. So whatever fucking tempo it is, you tell us.
Yeah.
But it was, we would go to these sessions with him and have the best fucking time.
was
And
awesome.
he was having the best fucking time. And to the point where we were goofing around. It was funny because I was trying to explain to Ben. Ben originally, when he says that line, what's the full line? Do you know?
Which one?
That ends in try.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, if you
When
if-
you're on
if
the
you,
spot.
if you can't keep
Yeah.
up, like we'd like to
I
see
never-
you
I never
try or
memorized the
whatever.
lyrics. I
And
just
Ben
like-
was doing the whole thing and like we'd like to see you try. Like the whole thing was lows, and I was like, Ben. For some reason in my head, I was like, Ben, when you get to the word try, it needs to be like the
Super
highest
high,
fucking
yeah.
high you have. Like to see you try, which is what you hear in the
Right.
And he was like, for whatever reason, I couldn't convey it to Ben the way I thought it should be. And so he was like, he tried to, he's like, what the fuck are you? I don't really know what you mean. I'm like, okay, Ken, give me a track. He's like, oh, you do this shit too? I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Because we're all like, fuck, it's midnight. We're tired of shit.
Yeah.
Over at this house in Ammon trying to get this thing done.
I do now.
And so I go into the vocal booth. And Ken's like fucking full on just believing that I'm going to execute this perfectly.
I'm doing my best to sell it.
Efren's just like, he's got this shit. And so we
First
go
take.
into the fucking vocal booth and he backtracks like 15 seconds or whatever. And I'm like, and it gets to, I'm just doing the one word. So Ben's voice is in the thing and it's like, we'd like to see you. And I go, try. And Ken fucking shits his pants. He's fucking laughing so hard. He's like, okay, so you don't do the vocal thing.
Like, no, never in my life.
And so, but he kept that track, right? Because he was, I mean, the mics were fucking hot when I did it. And so he kept it. And like, if morale ever got low, Ken would just be sitting in the engineer chair and he'd just be like, boop, try.
And then it was also the breathing part because we couldn't figure out the breathing wasn't working. And then that's when you went on there and you were like, where's Ken? He said he'd bring the bear.
Yeah, dude. Because there was the breathing in that pause. It's a into the. But
Yeah.
we tried like 8 things,
Yeah, and it
right?
wasn't
And so we're
working.
like, let's just fucking just keep recording. And so there was one version where it stops, and I'm like, where's Ken? He said he'd bring the beer.
I don't know. I think I would love something like that too.
Yeah. And so I think he was actually originally supposed to master both and just give us like 3 options of what we wanted to use in the. But the guys were pretty like, this song's really good and we spent a lot of money on it. Let's not fuck it up in the middle.
Right.
Right. So, question for both of you: when it comes to recording a song like that, because recording in general, because I don't know anything about
It's
recording
my least
things
favorite thing to do ever.
other than this
This
kind
stuff,
of
yeah.
like free form, like where it don't matter. You're not isolated. So for Efren, when you're recording the drum track, are you just trying to play it from memory, or do you have like?
Yeah, Efren tracks first and alone.
Yeah.
Efren tracks to nothing but a click.
Okay. And then you guys just build on to that, like
Yeah, so
like a headset
'cause
on, and
we have it easy because I play off of Efren, live, writing, all
Okay.
that. That's what he's there for. He's the timekeeper.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's easy because any kind of nuances that Efren has, and I don't necessarily always like some songs I'll play off of his cymbal work, and some songs I'll play off of the kick. Like if I have like a lot of chugs or this or that goes with his footwork, I just kind of read him differently based on the song. But that's what a guitar player does. We're fucking lost without a drummer.
right.
Because it's like we can play shit whatever tempo we're feeling at the moment, which live he plays faster, which is normal. You got a lot of adrenaline and shit.
Yeah.
So if we have a 4.5 minute song live, it could be under 4, just because.
Really?
Yeah.
But when you're
That much
chilling,
difference?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And so, but when you're chilling in the studio and you're really focused and stuff, Efren has to track first, and that's why he was bringing up Ken asking about our tempos and our time changes, because he has to set a click track to the certain tempo, and then it goes, it's like tit 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 tit, and that's what Efren plays to. That keeps him in
Okay.
time. And
So
then he
with-
just tracks that part to that tempo, and if there's a tempo change, they stop the track, redo or reset the tempo,
Reset it, yeah.
and then he plays the next part to the tempo that it is.
Oh,
But
I'm
that
learning a
keeps
lot
him,
right
that
now.
keeps
That
him
sounds
in
like
time.
very, very difficult.
not.
Click tracks
So
are very frustrating at first because they reveal all of your imperfections.
Right.
Well,
It-
so for me, it'd be because I can read music.
Yeah.
So if it was like you get to this part, and then you can just pick it up again, where you guys make the music, you have it written down. Do you have like
No.
sheet music? It's
No.
this is all from
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
I
just-
can't read music.
I can't
See,
read
and
music
that's-
either.
Yeah.
And so when we write, you write it, you get it, you perfect it, and then you play the fucking piss out of it.
Yeah.
Just so
over
you
and
at,
over
at that
and
point
over.
it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just you
Which I
play
mean, I
the
could
shit
see.
out of it.
Being a musician myself. Granted, like I'll take saxophone for example, because that's the one I'm most versed in.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to a part that I've practiced 8 million times, I don't have to look at the sheet music anymore.
No, you could just
because I
play
know
it.
what
You've
it is.
Played it.
You memorize
You've played
it,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Well, and
But-
it's funny too because there's times where you've played something 800 times. Like some of our first songs, of course, we played at every show, and so there's that one time where you're up there and you just like either zone out or you get in your head and you're like totally forgot the next part.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which for me, it was
fuck.
like, okay, as long as I know the tempo, I can fake something, and it'll just look like the guys might notice, but they'll think I'm just fucking around. But there, like a couple times where, like, if Efren missed something, I just
because all you guys play off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so yeah,
That was the most
so
stressful
Efren,
shit.
Efren tracks
Oh, I believe
first
it.
to a click, and then I think we did guitars next. Me
Yeah.
and Brad, and Brad tracked guitars, and then I think Brad went first. He did rhythm, and then I tracked matching parts and then leads.
Yeah.
And then Richard pissed through the bass parts in like 30 minutes, I think. I don't even think it took him 30 minutes. I think he played through it once because it was pretty simple shit. And then pretty much after that, we did vocals for 2 days.
Yeah.
It was just like,
That's the biggest part.
yeah,
of
just
recording.
because it's like that's
that's a harder
the
crap.
that's the main thing that people are listening to and hearing.
Right.
And so when you're going in there, and we're all fucking so like, oh, we should try this, try this, try this, try this. And of course, me and Efren are sitting there like, oh, that should be a low, this should be a high. And Ben's like, kind of going with it, you know,
Yeah,
and trying to do.
Yeah,
And
poor
he did the
sweet boy.
majority of it, and then we just kind of go back and like, and Ben's a super creative dude. He's super fun to work with musically. And so when everybody's got ideas and we're spending all this money, and we want it to sound good.
How much was it? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't want to like derail you.
I don't
actually
remember. The full
remember.
price. It was.
Was it over $1,000?
No.
Or, no.
No.
It
No.
was.
It was a couple hundred. A few.
I want to
hundred.
say it was pretty close to 1,000, but not.
For how many hours of work did this guy put in?
That's a good question. This was all fucking 11 years ago.
Because
now.
this sounds like it was a job.
I mean, the thing is just recording itself is my least favorite thing to do.
Sure.
It's so tedious, and
See, I don't mind it.
no, you don't mind it because you're pretty comfortable in it.
Yeah.
I really have trouble. I get in my head whenever I try to record. And then if you get in your head and you're not relaxed, you fuck up, and then you fuck up again, and then you fuck up more. And the more you fuck up, the more you have to try.
The only thing that I hate about recording is once you record it and everyone's like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then you go back and listen to it. And then I go, I could have done that different.
Yeah.
So just listening to it now, do you still feel
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many different.
Everything about the guitars in that song I hate.
The
pretty much.
intro could
Really?
have had
Yeah.
so many different.
I liked it.
I still love Brad's parts because Brad wrote them.
Yeah.
But my parts, I'm like, ugh, yuck.
Yeah, and like on the drums, there's a lot of parts where I'm like, ooh, I could have done that instead. And then
Well, I
you-
guess that just goes to show that the
But
biggest
God, we
critic
were-
is
Oh yeah,
yourself.
100%.
We were
Yeah.
20.
Yeah. They're babies.
I think we were 20 when we
We
recorded
were
that.
itty bitty little children.
I couldn't even go. I couldn't even go to the bar at the shows that we played. At Chelsea Green, I couldn't go to the bar.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even. I remember being at that show. I didn't even think about it. I was just
Yep.
just standing there, just watching the whole thing. It was so fun to
Yeah.
watch. I didn't even think about.
That's
I-
fucking crazy.
The most vivid memory I have of that Chelsea Grin show was actually before the show even started, because I rode up with our friend Jacqueline, and I was in her car,
Mustang.
in her Mustang, and I had no clue where I was going off of Google Maps, and this is 2012. Google Maps isn't as good as it is
Right,
now.
right, right.
Dude,
And
oh
it's
my
telling
God.
Google Maps is literally telling me at the next intersection take a right, and so we get into the right lane, and then it would say at the next intersection or something take a left, so we'd go to the left, and it kept having us bounce between lanes to
Yeah.
go
This is
different ways.
Pocatello.
And this is in Pocatello.
Yeah, that in downtown Pocatello fucking blows.
Oh yeah.
And then so we had this lady behind us the entire time. She thought we were
Drunk.
driving.
Oh shit.
I mean, I was drinking as a passenger, and we had our, the passengers were drinking, but she calls us in, and she had called us in on the interstate because, our friend Jack had made like a kind of like a quick move into the end of the exit, and pissed her off. So she followed us all the way through town, calling us, and we get pulled over, and we're like, no, we're just a bunch of kids trying to find this
Find this fucking venue.
fucking hardcore show at the Elks Lodge.
Don't mind the 20 crushed
And
cans.
so
on my-
she gets a
Never knew
a
back
ticket
then.
for
Wow.
failure to maintain lane.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
lady,
fuck. All for us.
the lady wants a court appearance, like because she called it
Jeez.
in. She wanted
Yeah.
to be there, and so we had to go.
Dude,
We had to go to
Karen.
fucking like about 2 months later, or about a month later. We had to go to fucking traffic court. Well, she had to, but we
She's
were
just
all,
out there busting your chub. You're trying to make it to a show and have fun.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
well,
What
and
a
the thing is
raisin.
she was, according to the
Were
story.
you in the
I-
car with us, Gavin?
No, I remember hearing about it because not only did she get in trouble for changing lanes too much, she was allegedly speeding. And
Jesus,
so
what a Karen.
the Karen's literally in court saying, "Oh, she was speeding. She wasn't staying in the same lane. She kept hopping." And Jacqueline's like, the whole time she was like, I remember her telling me, she was just like, "You were chasing after us. If we were speeding, you were speeding. You were in trouble too."
Right.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, like you were doing everything we were doing because you were in our ass the entire time.
Yeah.
Like
She got
you
it,
should be in trouble
like,
too.
down to like a
It was like
minor infractions and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. But I remember the night before we had to go into court. We're up drinking.
oh, so late. She
Like,
went.
I stopped drinking at a reasonable time because I was like, hey guys, we got because
Court.
we were all going to go together. Like she only
Yeah.
had to appear, but we were going to go
To support.
just because hey, we're going to just go.
We got court in the morning.
And so I go to bed at a decent time, and I wake up and it's 8:00, and we have court at 10, and it's in Pocatello, and we better get going. I have to wake up all these fucking.
So fucking annoying.
I have to wake up these fucking people who are hung the fuck over, and I'm like, when'd you guys go to sleep?
6.
About 6 or 7. I'm like, stupid. You got court and you smell like alcohol. Good
God.
fucking luck.
Jeez.
That's
And
crazy.
so-
We had some struggles
And
with
so
booze
I-
on our shows too
I
sometimes.
had to drive. I had to drive.
Yeah.
And so we all pile back in the Mustang, and I drive us all there. And she's all hungover and just like, you were doing it too.
Yeah.
Like, you were doing the same shit. Judge, I know the judge was.
I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
I've never
You
heard
guys
this.
you guys were all there, and I didn't even know you guys yet.
No.
Yeah, no, you didn't know it.
It would have been like the next year.
You probably knew Jacqueline just because
Like,
she
this
worked
isn't
at KJ's
fair.
at
The
the time.
goddamn band
Oh,
wasn't even
Yeah,
that
could have
good.
been.
So
Could've
you
been,
probably
yeah.
knew. It
We
was
got
a
court
I,
for this shit.
I honestly don't really remember meeting most of you. It was just like
It just happened.
fast forward 10 years and I've known them forever, and I don't
Right.
remember meeting.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I don't remember meeting Zach really. I don't really remember meeting Jacqueline. None of them. Like, just,
Well, I don't remember meeting anybody in this room except for Dylan. I know I met Dylan in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I can remember.
Do you
the-
remember specifically when?
No, but I know it was in high school.
I know.
Zach's
I knew
like,
you in high
hello,
school."
fellow emo kid.
We just look at
You'll
each other.
notice we have the same color hair,
I
and
think
it's
that's-
just as thick.
For now.
He's like pretending. It's like, hey, guy that looks exactly like me with the same exact hair.
The same exact build.
Yeah, except for, I guess in high school we had the same build, except for the fact that he was
2
Giant.
feet.
4 feet taller than me at the time. Because I don't.
He's like, I bet our dicks are the same length though.
Hey, it's a
Judging
grower,
by
not
everything
a
else.
shower.
What's that now?
Grower, not a shower.
Grower, not a shower. That's what guys with small dicks say.
I just
I'm
write
not saying.
N-A.
You know what? You know what? My wife says it's big.
That's all that
big.
matters.
That's a bag
It's
one.
big.
That's back.
I still quote Zach every week on that. It's big.
It's big.
So,
That's crazy to think about how we've all like weirdly met each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All mine is usually in a drunken haze with everyone in this room.
well, really,
That's probably why I don't remember
honestly,
any of it.
I don't want to like just pull
I
it right
actually
back into the
remember-
music thing, but it was kind of because we were all in that scene somehow.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually how I met you is because of that scene. Is because it was after you guys played a concert. I can't remember which one. It was in like the dead of winter.
In town.
I think so. But you were having an after party.
Oh shit.
Oh, the party,
And then I
the
think
oopsie party.
the band
God.
came home
Oopsie
with
party.
you guys.
I
The other
remember the
bands
oopsie
came
party.
Oh,
to
that was
your
a
place.
fun one. Yeah. So
That band was Cries of the Captive.
yeah, from
I
Salt
think
Lake.
so. Yeah.
They were so our
Oh man. Yeah.
one of the singer in my first band had a wife. I think they were divorced at this point,
Yes.
but her little brother had a band called Cries of the Captive, and we knew them from the first band playing in Utah with them.
Great dudes.
Right.
And
Great
yeah,
fucking
it
and
was
they had a really good
so.
set too.
Yeah.
from
We
what I
decided that we were going to have an after party because this was our first show. I believe.
Yeah, this was our first
we
show.
played at the Wax House right down here.
Yeah.
It was our first show, so we're like, hey, we let a few people know, like, hey,
But yeah.
we're gonna be going back to my house, and we kind of having a little get together thing,
Yes.
just celebrate.
So
Have fun.
basically, what happened was, I think one of my sisters was like, "What are you guys doing after?" We're like, "Oh, we're just going over to Dylan's, having a couple of drinks, having something to eat with like the five of us, the guys from Cries." So my sister goes, "Do you mind if I invite some of my friends over?" And we were expecting to have like a handful of people. And we're like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Like 15, maybe 20.
Something like that. Yeah. So
like
then
a party, but
yeah. So then she told one of her friends, who then that person told like 4 people, and then a bunch of people heard there's a party. Follow whoever.
us.
So
Dude.
I get into my car and I go to Walmart to go pick up a couple 30s. I was like, I'll pick up like 3-4 of them, whatever. It should be fine. So I get to where they lived at their Osgood's house, and it had a super long driveway.
At this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
it looked like a fucking.
and the
Yeah.
super
Parking
long
lot.
driveway was on a gravel road.
Yeah, and so when
with
you
only
turn,
like 4 houses.
yeah,
down
so
it.
you turn on this gravel road, and there's cars, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on over there? So I had to park back, and I had my fucking kit in the back of my truck. So then I had to like run in and ask people to move their cars and shit. And there was like fucking 50
60
60
people.
people.
God
So many.
damn.
in this goddamn house.
and they just kept pouring in.
I
dude.
remember
just
standing in the
nonstop.
kitchen and be like, "What
Like-
did you guys do?"
I was like, "This is my mom's house," and she's like, "Dylan, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't do this."
the-
Like, but there was fucking people
Yeah.
everywhere, and the other, I mean, everybody's getting hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Shit's going wild.
Yeah.
The other band did fucking shrooms in the basement
They started
and
a
started
fire.
a campfire. on the basement floor, on the carpet.
Someone puked in Blake's
Somebody
backpack.
puked in Blake's backpack.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? You were not happy about it.
Was
Yeah,
that
somebody had to
Yeah, yeah.
puke, and so they picked up Blake's bag and puked in it and just put it back. And Blake's like, the next day, he's like, what the fuck?
I don't remember that at all.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it got
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Somebody puked in a beer box,
Yep.
which I don't know if you've seen a beer box. They're not sealed
Sure,
like
yeah.
tight,
No.
and so they just puked through a beer box
Yeah.
and set it down. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then Cries of the Captive the next day, they were like, dude, check out these songs that we wrote on
Oh
shrooms.
my God, yeah, they
and
were
we
so
looked
bad.
and we handed them back, and we're like, burn that.
Start that fire again. Fucking burn
That's fucking
it. It
terrible.
was so bad.
And everything was destroyed. There was shit everywhere, and we're like, I think we're officially a band.
yeah.
So I should have. That's one thing I should have brought up. If had I known about it to your dad.
How did he feel about that party?
Oh, the whole.
We should have asked about
It was
that.
like being a part of the. Well, actually, so the first band, my dad was like, really like into it. He's
Oh
like,
no, I'm saying that party.
oh, the
Brought up
party.
that party because
He was probably fucking doing shrooms too. Jesus, I don't, he would always. You would always think, oh, Dad's gonna be freaking out. He'd be over there fucking partying.
The
Like,
the
he
part
just
that-
like, hey,
full
this
on-
is awesome. You
He's
guys-
like, I grew up in the 70s, you bitches. Like, like the first time he told, when I was in my first band, my dad came over and we were listening to that Afternoon Delight song because it was on Anchorman and we thought it was funny as shit, so we'd listen to it. And we came over and that song starts playing and my dad is sitting there on the couch with me and my bandmates. And he's like, yeah, the first time I heard this song, it was like 1974, and my dad took me to some wayward house with all these druggies and stuff. And he's like, my dad was off in the back room doing something, and I was 7 years old showing his friends how I could iron lung a bowl. And I'm like, I will never, ever be that cool.
Dude.
Like, that's the most hard-ass thing I've ever heard in my life.
I've
Okay,
never
so-
heard
so
that
you're-
story
you're-
before.
Oh,
So
you
your
haven't?
dad- your-
No.
Yeah, it
your
was
dad
like,
would have been fine with the party. How
Oh.
did your mom feel about?
See,
Oh,
I
my
remember
mom
the next
was-
morning.
she
The
was
next
not-
morning.
my mom was not stoked, but
No.
she did. We explained what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, we had our show and we told,
Like
we
5
told
people.
Allie-
We told a few people.
and like it was literally supposed to be. And Cries of the Captive was we had invited them to the show to play with us and to
And they
come
were-
stay at the
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
And so it was like that's 5 of us, 5 of them, and then Allie and a couple of her
15,
friends.
like
It was
15
literally
friends, yeah.
going to be about 15 people, and my parents were expecting that. You
Yeah.
know? When all those
When
people
60,
showed up,
70
I told my mom, I was like, I
The
don't
whole-
know what happens.
Yeah.
Like it just leaked out, and
It was
everything.
fucking
the
chaos.
whole-
She knew it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
The whole
She
thing
knew
you
it
showed
wasn't
up
like-
at that point.
And honestly, I think my parents kind of just were like, "This is kind of fucking fun too." Like,
It's
Like-
they could have easily been like, everybody get the fuck
but they
out.
didn't.
But
My
they
mom
didn't.
was like,
Yeah.
"I only have 3 pizzas."
I remember the
She's
part
like
that I remember the most.
frantically making
Yeah.
frozen pizzas.
One of the things that I remember the most is like when I'm trying to like take my drum kit down into the basement. I just remember seeing your poor mom like holding onto a pizza, just fucking freaking out. Like I only have like 2 more of these. She's like,
I was like, "Mom, we don't have to feed everybody. It's fine. Like these are all miscreants who are just looking for something to do tonight."
yeah,
But it
That's
was
awesome.
crazy.
And
But
then
no, it was fun though because when we started Tomorrow the World, my dad quickly became our manager.
yeah.
Like he was the one that like he would find us
Find your shows.
shows and do this and that, and he would. I mean, if something was going on, he was right there to just make sure shit was taken care of, you know. And
Yeah.
he was along for the fucking ride, dude.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like, he was super stoked. It was something fun, something he'd never done. He wasn't a musician. He'd never been in that world, and for some reason, my dad is one of those people. He just kind of, you know, it's like this is a world full of very lovable miscreants, and I'm gonna experience that for a little while. And it was my people and my people's people, and you know, and that you guys know, we all grew up in that scene
Yeah.
with those, and you think about those times and going to shows and meeting people you didn't even know, and there was just something that we all had in common. We were all the outcasts.
Oh, yeah.
We were we weren't the cool kids. You didn't see the fucking Abercrombie kids at those shows. It was us.
That would
I
probably
was-
been ugly.
I
to
remember
see.
going out of like like outside of the venue because a lot of the like, especially at the Wax House, it's a alcohol-free venue, and so
Yeah,
people
we got a story about that too.
people
Alcohol-free
Dude, I went
inside.
out. I can't tell how many times I went out.
Put a pin in that one. We gotta tell that too.
Went out and someone's like doing like fucking shots.
Shots.
And I'm like, they're like, "Do you want one?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, fuck yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I'll take the shot."
There's
with them.
an
They're like,
unspoken
"Hey, we're just
kinship in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're just about
in
to
that
smoke
thing.
smoke a bowl. Want some of that? I'm like, well, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah, there was this one time.
This is so funny.
We went to. We were getting into.
Is it because of the show that we played that was bad?
Yeah.
Was that why we did this?
Yeah.
Or were we just being fucked?
No, it was probably both. But yeah, we had a show, and the chick who ran the Wax House, like, she was telling everyone in line, like, you know, no alcohol's like allowed in here, blah 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 blah. As she's telling this to like fucking 15 people, Richard and I walk in with 2 30s and 2 bottles of Captain Morgan, and then like everyone looks at us and we just look and we just go, "What's up?" and just walked in. And she just goes, "Okay, they're an exception, but you guys can't." And then yeah, we would just get fucking.
So we
wrecked.
played a really.
It was terrible.
We had a bad show.
It was bad. It was
I remember
And it
you,
was
you,
our-
you did tell this story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was our first bad show.
Yeah, it was
and
a-
so we were just like, just wasn't good. Not a lot.
What
of
was wrong
reaction.
with it? Like-
it just.
It
They're
it
just
was
the
off.
vibe just was off.
It was
Like
off.
the
we didn't
people
fuck
weren't
up.
into it, or
Yeah, the crowd
wrong
wasn't
crowd?
into it.
Yeah. Was that in Idaho or
which-
Salt Lake?
That was
It was,
Pokey. It was in Pocatello.
Pokey.
Yeah, and so like, well, that one was fucking terrible.
The one in the basement. of
That one was
Pocatello?
no in the that was in the cafeteria room. It was
Yeah.
fucking awful, and we never played for Jason after that because
No.
he fucked us over. It was like we're like, can we get the lights off? We're literally standing in a cafeteria. We look like assholes, and he's like, oh yeah, we can't figure out the switch.
And then
We're
they
like,
did
"We-
the lights for the main band.
yeah, that whole thing.
I remember.
Anyway,
Yeah, you already told us
so
about
we
that.
were like, it was our first. We had not had a bad show. It was like just dan, fucking good show after good show, just fucking lighting places up, having a good time, right? And we were quickly becoming the fucking party metal band
Yeah.
of Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
And then we had this god awful band or show that just kind of fucked with us mentally. It was like, okay, are we garbage? Like, is it only because we're loud and there's lights and shit? And so it kind of fucked with us mentally. And so the next show, we got fucking hammered before we
Yeah,
played.
you did tell us. This
Yeah.
one.
And goddamn, that was a bad idea because we thought that we did great. And then
did
Was
not.
it?
we saw some pictures and videos afterward, and it was not good.
Were you guys like just so fucked up that you
Yeah,
had no
but
idea
luckily-
what the problem was?
We were just didn't give a fuck because we were drunk, and we're like, "Fuck yeah, we're the best band in the world." And we had our attitude back, you know. And so the crowd was like, "Yeah, fuck it, this is great."
That's
We're
all
having
you
a good
needed
time.
was
We're
the
gonna have a good
attitude.
time.
That's the thing. As long as you're fucking there to have a good time, like
I've
You can
seen.
have-
I
I've
gotta
been to
pee.
some shows that the
Weirdly enough,
the music
I did
was
too.
good,
I'll join you. on
but
this
just
one.
the vibe they were giving off.
we
was
played
not
with countless bands that were so good. Like their songs were good, they played good, they didn't
Yeah.
miss a note, didn't miss a beat, but they had terrible stage presence and nobody
Yep.
was into it.
it. Yep.
And it's like it's just like we'd go up and play and not be as good as them musically or technically and just fucking blow the place out because that
Because
nobody
you guys are
gives a
engaging
shit.
The audience too.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it's like people want to feel the music. They don't care what you're playing. They don't care how many notes. They don't care what fucking scales you're playing. They don't care. Then nobody gives a fuck. It's like at a show like that,
that's just
they
like,
want to
that's-
fucking
you
just
go,
feel
you go
it.
to a concert hall and you're watching like a concert band.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
if you're watching
play.
a big show with a big band where it's like it's not that the point of these shows was everybody gets in this fucking hole. It's 9,000 degrees and you get blood and sweat and piss all over you
Yep.
and you need to shower when you get home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was the scene.
That,
It
and
was
that's
awesome.
and that's what I loved about going to those
And you
shows.
feel
is
fucking alive while
Yep.
you're there.
I had to like leave like so like specifically the Wax House is the one I remember because Kevin like I need to go outside for a minute because if I don't I'm gonna pass the fuck out.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
it
we
is
had
hot in
a
here.
lot of people pass out. I remember one time this guy got his whole fucking face ripped off
Yep.
at a goddamn shut. Like we just looked down and you just see somebody with fucking blood all over their face.
Damn.
We had
And
to
you're just
pour-
like, Jesus Christ, these guys are going nuts. And you're just like up on the stage all safe, like, like these guys are going hard for us. Like this is cool. And then they'd show up to the shows with either like our merch or they just go buy a shitty T-shirt and make their own shirt of our band. Like
That was some cool shit too. Like I still have my Tomorrow of the World.
which one do
Sure.
you have? Do you have the ship or the bear?
It's the bear.
Oh, yeah,
I
the
have the
bear.
The party
I'll,
bear.
I'll have to see if I can get you a ship. We came out with shirts after that were fucking sweet. It's got a pirate ship on it, and it
Oh, fuck
says
yeah.
Tomorrow of the World and like.
Yeah, I got
dope.
the first one, the bear.
The party bear. Yeah, Ben and
party
I
bear.
made that one.
Dude, I
actually
had a
had- I actually
set
had-
of like
I actually had
400
two of
fucking.
them.
Yeah.
Because I got
wristbands.
one that I wanted to wear as the T-shirt, and then
Yeah.
I got a second that I turned into like a
Tom
sleeve
rag?
like
Hell yeah.
a
Ben
I
and
still
I-
have
tank
T-shirts
top.
somewhere.
Ben and I were
Yeah.
super drunk when we made Party Bear because we were like making the shirt and we were at your parents' house. We were shit faced and we had just finished playing Cardinal Puff, so we were both fucking sloshed. And we're like, all right, we got to make shirts, dude. And then we're just like throwing shit. And then Ben's like, what if we fucking put a bear on here? And we're like, yeah, with a fucking crown.
with the fucking crown.
That's the thing about that I love about like those hardcore bands that it's just like
It's
their
hardcore,
shirts don't make any fucking
Nope.
sense.
Nope.
And Tomorrow of the
they're
World was
fucking
no
awesome.
Well, and
exception.
then the issue was that we were like, we made that shirt and we weren't like, we're not gonna fucking tell the guys. We're just gonna fucking order them. We had the money, and so we just ordered them. And then we're like, all right, guys, we got the shirts. And then we did that. And I think that's when we had our fucking wristbands.
Sorry about that.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I feel bad for Gavin over there.
I can't smell.
Oh yeah, never mind. He can't smell. You lucky son bitch.
Yeah, we also ordered.
And now I just get in the whiff of it.
We also ordered wristbands, and we thought
Bro,
we got.
I had the.
I have the wristbands.
I had a
somewhere, too.
garbage bag full of 300 wristbands.
Well,
in my
because
music
we
room for
accidentally
years.
ordered too many, and we didn't know that they were pink. But people
Well,
because
because they were supposed to be purple.
They were supposed to be purple, glow in the dark. Yeah, and then you
they're
got
just
them.
straight up fucking pink.
But people fucking loved them. They were like, "Oh, these are fucking cool." And then we had so many of them that we were just like, "Buy a shirt, get 3 of them." And then at some point, we're like, "Fuck it, just take them."
Yeah, we just started handing them
We
out.
just fucking giving them out, and then
That's
we
what-
still
Found
had
mine
so
recently.
many still.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
I can tell
think
you that
that's how
my
I got-
oldest daughter, Kaylee, all of her friends have Tomorrow of the World bracelets.
Yeah, that's how I got my
Fucking
bracelet. was
funny.
I bought a shirt. I bought the 2 shirts, and they're like, "Here," and they gave me a handful of the
We
wristbands.
had
I'm like,
so many.
"Cool, I'm
so
gonna
many
give these out." And I started going around the venue. I was
Yeah.
like, "Here,
we
here,
had
here."
so many
Yeah.
fucking wristbands.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yep.
It was. There's a lot of experiences. There was a time where we were playing and Efren's Tom just decided to fall off and roll across the stage. So, that was fucking cool.
Frankenstein kit, yeah.
And I just look back and I see the Tom rolling and I'm like, and I look back at Efren. He's like. Luckily, Anthony was standing right there,
Yeah,
and
he
he
came in
swooped
clutch.
in and fucking grabbed it and reset it. He's a drummer too, so
The funniest part with him because he always sat like on the back and just kind of watched.
yeah,
shit.
he would
And-
always be on like stage right.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting there playing this fucking Tom's like on top of the snare, and I'm like trying to hit the snare over this Tom, and I look over at my buddy, and I'm like doing this, but he thought I was headbanging, so he's just like doing this, like, no, motherfucker. Then he looks down, he's like,
over
oh
here.
shit, and then he like runs up, and then he like picks it up and tries to put it on, and I'm like, just fucking take it, and he's like, oh okay. So the rest of the show, he's just sitting back there, just headbanging, holding this fucking.
That was funny.
Oh shit!
And you know what, I'm just gonna have to bring it up. Efren had a really rough show once,
I did
What happened?
and he didn't tell me this
for like
for fucking years.
Did he shit his pants?
Yep.
There it is.
You want to just tell him from the beginning. This is a fucking dude. I knew he was the realist because, like, if I shit my pants, big deal, right? I just have to go stand up there and kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
He's got to fucking play
It's sitting
heavy
there.
metal drums
Yeah.
while sitting.
And
Okay,
moving
go
his
ahead,
feet.
F. You just tell
Yeah,
the whole-
so it was one of the shows at the Wax House, and I had to drop a pretty good grumpy, and I was like, all right, I got to do this before we play. So I go into the bathroom, and there was a line, and there was like some random chick there, and I'm like, hey, when the next band's up, can you like knock on the door? And she's like, yeah, cool. So I sit down, and I'm like getting into position and whatnot, and right before I'm about to drop, I hear a knock on the door, so I had to pinch it. Like, fuck, all right, cool, I got this.
No way I would have done that.
You're waiting. Wait.
So I pinch it, fucking run out, and we always used to do this like
Sounds so uncomfortable.
this like our little pregame like chant
Hype
that
up.
we used
rah,
to do.
rah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
So like these guys are there, lights are off, and I'm like having to get up front, and I'm like cheering these dudes on, and then like I sit down, and I'm like, all right, I can do this. That's fine.
It's just a shit I can hold.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't. You're oh my
So then we go. As soon as we play the first song, I'm like playing, I'm moving, and I'm like, all right, I feel like I got to fart. Yeah, I can do this. And I fart, and there was a little bit more than a fart. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good.
You could say
Was it
he
wet
farted
or
some
was it like
Chunky.
Sorry, I stepped on it.
He farted some shit out.
Oh yeah,
he farted some shit
oh
out.
yeah. So it was one of, it was one of those farts that like you just fart, but you can't really stop. But I'm also like in the zone trying to keep tempo, and it's just going. And then it's just like all over my ass, all over my legs.
Was it like a solid shit or?
No.
I mean, it started solid, but then it just became
man.
not,
He just mushed it.
Yeah, and
And
then
it's just mushing into your pants as it
Yeah.
like keeps coming out.
and this was like very first, like 15 seconds into the first song, so I had to play through the entire fucking set. And then we finished playing, and normally, like, he'd always come up to, like, give me a hug, and I'm just like...
he just stands up and fucks off immediately.
So I fucking run back, and then there was, like, this other person running into the bathroom. I'm like, move, bitch. Just fucking move. And just go in, and I get on my phone, and I text whoever I was with at the time. I'm like, I need you to run home. And she's
Get me
like,
some
why?
underwear.
I'm like, I need you to go pick up some underwear and pants. Probably shoes and socks. And she's like, why? And I'm like...
Just fucking do it.
Go, yeah, like if
I was like, it's
I want
obvious
you to know-
why. Why are you asking?
I want you to know if any of you guys had texted me that, it would be a no questions asked.
yeah,
I just go and do it.
yeah.
I got you, dude. But he played the whole show with this big shit in his
Yeah.
pants.
And then, like, I remember...
And he was so fucking embarrassed. He didn't tell us about it. He's like, so I got to tell you about something. It's like 2 years later.
That was,
Like, he didn't
yeah,
tell
it was
me.
like 2, 3. It was like way later than
And
that.
I was
yeah.
sitting there like, you what?
Yeah,
Like, I would have done anything to help you.
yeah.
Were you
So-
sitting up there the whole time like I should have just shit when I was there? I had the chance.
the whole time I'm just like, because every time we got to play, like, I always got into this zone where I was just like, I can't fuck up, I can't fuck up, I can't fuck up, because then I felt like, I'd fuck these guys up. So the whole time I'm just like trying to focus on this. But yeah, like that day I'm just like, yeah, this is a mistake. And then like when I would play like a drum fill and if I would move, like, oh no.
Oh no.
Any fast parts, I'm just like, keep it together, like trying to, yeah.
So did you just throw your
Yeah, they
pants
were in
and
the garbage
shorts away?
can.
You
and
just
yeah,
threw it all
just
away.
fucking threw it all away.
Yeah,
That's the move right
Yeah.
there. So
Oh, yeah.
you're just standing there with the t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Did you throw your shoes away?
No, it didn't. Luckily, I didn't get into the shoes.
Okay, because
so
you
was
mentioned
good.
that. I
Yeah.
hadn't even
Yeah.
thought about that.
He was
until-
just shirt cocking it.
Yeah.
it's called
there-
Pooh Bear.
is
Just Winnie
there
the
like-
Pooh it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, just
called
Winnie
Pooh
the
Bear.
Pooh it the whole time.
Is there
Yeah.
like a less? Is there a more
Where
vulnerable?
does that come from? Where does the Pooh Bear thing come from?
Because Winnie the Pooh only wears a shirt.
No, I understand that, but why is... I've heard that a lot lately.
So when you Winnie the Pooh, it's because that's what girls do. They Winnie the Pooh. They only have a shirt on and they have their underwear on. That's Winnie. That's
But there's like no.
Pooh Berry.
There's no more vulnerable.
Is that
position
trending
you can
somewhere
be in
right
Yeah.
now?
as a
Because I've
man.
just heard it a lot lately.
Oh, see,
no. It's been around forever.
I think that just
mine
by chance.
saying the shirt cocking thing was a reference to the Deadpool movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the worst position to be in, just as a man with a shirt on and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
It does feel weird,
you'd be
but I
better
wouldn't
off
say it's
totally
like the
naked.
worst
I don't know
situation.
why. It's
No, because like low key, you can kind of like pull your shirt down,
Yeah,
which
there's
is
no-
makes you
there's-
feel stupid and
there's
silly.
no
but,
more bitch position than
I don't have any shirt long
pulling
enough.
your
But
shirt
here's the
down.
thing: is if my cock's out
For
and you're
these
staring,
nuts.
I'm like, you're the
For that
faggot
female,
here,
yeah.
not me.
But like standing there pulling it down.
I-
like,
I
don't
won't-
look, guys.
No, I'll just put my hand in front of it, and if you keep, I'm like, fine, I'll just pull it away. You look at it then.
You're gonna need more hands.
Yeah.
He's got this big old hog.
My
Dude, I would
God.
be so upset if Gavin just had a fucking hammer.
Why?
Because we just give you so much shit about being shorter and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you just got this.
This guy's
just
got a
low
fucking
key
woolly
guy.
Got this
mammoth.
angry
Dylan,
Yeah.
dick.
Dylan would find a way to flip it though. He'd be like, Gavin has this big stupid dick. It
Yeah. It's like Gavin and his big dumb dick.
And then
Boy,
everyone
you
would be
sure
like, "Why
feel
do you know
powerful."
about his cock?" You'd be like, "It was an unfortunate accident.
It's like,
He's
well,
definitely a
'cause
hanger."
fucking if it's in the room, you can't see past the stupid son of a bitch.
I tickle the grass. The grass doesn't tickle me.
It's like, you fat dick retard.
No, I definitely don't have a huge dick. That would be awesome, but no,
That would be cool.
right? But I think
Yeah.
that's everyone's, like every dude's dream is like, I have a fucking dinger, you know. I just have I have a fucking waiter for a cock.
I'm sure that's what you would call it if you had one. I got such a dinger on me.
Zach,
You just
Zach,
get with a
remember
girl and
that.
she
I've
pulls
got
your
a
pants
fucking
down like,
dinger.
wow, that's a
I've got
dinger.
Right?
Dinger.
That's a real dinger.
You've never
you got
heard
there.
that? You've never heard that term?
Nobody's ever said it.
That's
No.
when you hit it out of the park, Gavin. That's a dinger.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the point. You know?
Just a huge wiener.
I have a
Got a
dinger.
fucking dinger on
I
it.
bet
It's
girls
that
say
dick.
that. I bet that guy has a dinger on him.
Oh yeah, dude. She's like, that dick will take me to places I've never been. It's the real.
It's old Dingerville. Let's go to
It's
Dingtown.
that dick that you go into the gym and you know you can walk around without your underwear and it's just there and everyone's like, oh shit. They're like, I wish you didn't do that, but you have a big dick.
Do you have a
I don't
big
do
old
this. I don't
dinger.
do. Oh shit! I go. That guy's got a dick on it.
Blake's all like, do you want me to polish those balls or do you just like the head rub?
He got it.
I
I like my dinger.
if you're
being
gonna
rubbed.
suck my cock, you gotta palm my balls. I'm
You
not
want
gonna
me-
come till you palm my balls.
You want me to toy with the top?
You want me to toy with the top of it? You want your balls palmed? Just palm the balls.
Just give him a spicy rim job.
Yeah, spicy rim job, but make sure you're palming the balls. I'm telling you, I won't quam till you palm my balls.
Hey, was that ever-
Q-U-M, quam.
Have you guys ever done that? Like,
That's
had like a
cool.
weird thing where the only way you could come was with something specific?
No.
I'm telling you, you gotta palm the balls.
Actually, you know what? I do. Actually, I did.
You did?
I had to.
Zach's like, I gotta see your feet.
He's all Amish over there. He's like, show me your ears.
No,
Let me see some ankle.
Damn.
You're gross.
Show me your chin.
But I was say. It
Wait,
was,
what's yours?
Once upon a time, mine was blowjobs. If I didn't get one, I didn't come.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Before
very,
or after?
I was expecting.
It
something,
had to be before.
So I had to start with that,
Uh-huh.
and then you could come.
So,
You know,
She's
I
like, are you
wasn't-
gonna finish? You're like, are you gonna suck my dick?
yeah. Like,
Like, you know the rules. I didn't
Yeah.
make them up. I just
I
weird.
wasn't expecting some vanilla shit like that. I was like,
No,
He's
no,
like-
there's no hook
no,
in my
you-
ass or anything
I was
that.
like, you gotta like
So what was yours?
mine. It was I gotta be on my wife's side of the bed.
oh my God.
Christ.
He's all like, yeah,
Wow.
that
What a
doesn't
good
belong to
boy.
me. Better nut
What
there.
a sweet, sweet boy.
No, you know, no, I don't need like that weird thing to come because all you have to do is just look at it the right way. And it fucking does.
You're like, fucking choke me with a necktie.
Let me see your feet.
Let me see them kegels.
all right. So what's the weirdest thing that you've like you've wanted to try in sex that you feel is the weirdest, I guess? Because there's a lot of things that people think are weird and they're really not.
I'd like to go full on like 1500s garb.
Really?
Yeah. Just to give it a shot, you know, my lady. And then you pull your dick out.
So do you want to do the
Your
full
dinger?
role play with that?
Pull out your
Yeah.
dinger.
Oh, like full on.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
role
I
play?
would do full on like and scene. Like we're doing a show, but we're gonna fuck.
Yeah, see, those are fun when you
My-
can get a partner that will actually play along. Because the second you feel stupid is the second it's done.
Yeah.
Like you're done
Yeah.
being cutesy or role play. You're like, do you want to fuck now or do you just want to keep making me feel like a dumbass?
It's
My
like, you know,
lady.
I'm really not believing that you're Helen Keller right now.
My lady, would thou like to see my dinger?
My dinger.
I really need you to emphasize when you say water, okay?
You're right.
Water.
But yeah, okay, so Dylan wants to role play.
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Not
Good
one that
boy.
he wants to say. Did you
Like-
see the eyebrows?
No,
He's
no,
like,
no.
I don't have one.
I really don't. Vanilla shit. Like
See, none of mine was vanilla.
He's like, smack my eye sockets
No,
with your feet.
so I'll
it's
give you an
things-
example.
It's things
of
that I
one.
haven't done that I want to do.
Yeah,
Like
I'll give-
I have admitted to my wife. This was on Christmas Eve. I was like, "Hey, we should turn the fireplace on and have sex in front of the fire and the Christmas tree."
No,
And she's
that's-
like,
I've
and
done
she,
that.
you know what she said? She's like, no, that's cheesy. And I was like, well, fuck me. I'm just going to go masturbate.
He's like, fine, I'm gonna go beat off in the bathroom. You don't get sex now.
If you hear crying, don't worry about it.
I like that idea.
That's
Sounds
cute.
That sounds good to me.
So next time,
What,
don't
the
even ask.
masturbating or the scene I had
Well,
said?
I mean,
The scene.
Apparently,
I
I'm
agree
good with
that.
masturbating because
Yeah, look at you. You're definitely handsome.
yeah, it was I have been rejected by my wife, but in that sense where she's like, you fucking nerd.
Like,
no.
that's fucking gay.
Like, that's
See-
how it felt too. And I was like, oh, well, fuck me. I'm just going to go masturbate. And so I went and sat in the middle of the living room and
cry
just
in
like
the car.
jerked it.
that reminded me.
And then
of-
you had to run into your room so that you could come on her sheets.
Oh, yeah.
He's
And
like, I wanna
time,
finish.
And that time it was vindictively. Like, fuck you.
I'm gonna get the pillowcase this time.
That reminded me of this time Adam
You
Carolla was
just
talking
trip
about.
in the hallway.
God damn it, you today are killing me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Have I been extra bad?
No, you've been normal. It's just starting to come to a head.
Okay.
Speaking of head, yours. Let's talk.
No, I was talking about Adam Carolla was talking about these ads that would come up before like pornos. It was like,
Yeah.
tired of beating off alone. He's like, well, evidently not.
I'm here.
Here we are again.
Right?
Evidently not. Oh, that's fucking
Okay, so Gavin, or I shared one, or Dylan shared one.
I don't have
Blake.
anything. Nothing interesting.
Oh, come on.
Mine wasn't
Everyone's
very
got
I'm serious.
interesting.
I'm serious. I don't. And then you always ask these questions that put us on the spot where I'm like, I feel like I have to do homework and like really think about it.
I feel like Blake would be like 5 black chicks that are mad at you for being white. Something like that.
dude,
He's thinking about it.
He's like, that kind of resonates.
Hold on, wait a minute.
He knows me.
he knows me all too well.
I got your reparations
That
here.
that sounds awesome.
I knew it. I knew it. It's like your grandpa was a slave owner and they're irritated with you.
Yeah.
Just enough, you know?
Okay, so Blake don't have one except for
There it is.
That's the one.
Everett. You got one?
Nah, man. I'm
He's
a
like a
good
white
noodle.
girl.
I'm a good noodle. I'm
You just want to hold. someone's
actually a
hand.
virgin.
He's
yeah.
like, man, I love alternative white bitches.
Nope. I've never sinned before, so
Good. Well,
Saving
you sinned
myself.
a lot tonight. Just being here.
save myself for the good for Jesus.
Save yourself for the Lord.
Yep.
So
Which-
does
I
that
don't
mean
know.
the Lord is gonna bang you?
I was like,
Maybe
I thought he
that's
was
his.
against
Ask
gays.
Mary. She knows.
Because
I hope
it seems
so.
a little gay to hold yourself off for another dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
No, not if it's Jesus
Nah.
or
Speaking
Jesus. sorry.
of,
I mean, well, I'm just saying he's very against it, so out of nowhere.
No. I mean, I've done some dumb shit before, so there's not a whole lot that I like.
Mortal Kombat.
But Mortal Kombat was a fun one.
Blit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's a sexist thing.
Yeah.
I don't.
Look it up.
All I can
Look
think
it
of
up.
is fatality.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay,
a,
no,
like a,
not
like a
that bad.
snuff film.
No,
No.
No, it was there was one time I was, porking this chick, and I told one of my buddies, I was like, hey, I'm gonna scream Mortal Kombat. I need you to like come in and say like finish her like in the voice, and he's like, yeah, I gotcha. So I'm doing it with this chick, and then I go Mortal Kombat. My buddy opens the door, finish her, and then so.
And
right
then
when
she
I busted-
doesn't finish.
No,
He's like, I finished. She didn't.
I busted, and she was like, "The fuck was that?" And I'm like, "It was a flawless victory. I gotta go."
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's great.
Oh man.
Dude,
There's also
Okay, Gavin.
Oh, I've done some weird shit.
I know.
we're shocked.
So one of the weirdest things that kind of made me super uncomfortable was.
Isn't this supposed to be something you haven't done?
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Right now?
You asked
started
the
it.
question.
I forgot the question. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no. I mean,
Something
And then
that
when
you
he
ha-
followed up with that,
That you haven't done that you would like to. It was-
something I haven't done that I'd like to.
Bang a guy.
No, I've done that.
Okay, so I'm guessing
So-
5 black guys, and they're kind of mad at you.
Not
for being
even.
white.
Kevin's like, I invented that word.
You get reparations now. Shut up. No, joking. I'm joking. What's that Russian thing? What's that Russian thing that people say? Be grateful.
I think you.
You broke Dylan.
broke him. Like, where did that set go?
He lost it.
Like he's still being fucking. He's still being. Oh. Holy shit. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to hear about that later.
That's gonna be a fun one to turn into a TikTok.
No.
I invented that word. Like there's 5 of them. They're huge, muscular, NBA size, and he's just like still being pissy with them.
Just like in all the pornos, get sassy back.
Yeah, I said it. And I'd say it again.
No.
So Gavin.
So, I would say I'd want to retry role playing because I've done it before, and like I said, I
What are you
didn't
into,
have
like
a great partner
Slave
to
and
do
Master?
It
It's because I said the Helen Keller thing, huh? You're like, damn it, didn't think of that.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. You know
no,
what? Actually, can I change
she's
mine?
already dumb, and she just had to pretend to be
You
blind.
know how fun it would be having my wife just going.
Okay.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
No, you're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to be able to hear me. Like, you can't say words.
Not unless
Yeah, she's all calling
my
you the
thumb
retard.
is on your throat and my my finger is on your mouth. And then you can understand what I'm saying from the vibrations and the lip movements. Oh yeah, that's hot.
Oh my god.
You're
All
like,
right.
play with my boy tits.
Blame on my boy dudes, yeah. No, it definitely had to be role play. Role play is fun.
I need that as a sound clip right now. Gavin saying, "Yeah, play with my boy tits."
Get in there.
It's gonna be my fucking
button.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna hit it off here. Blake, you
Yeah,
wanna
thanks,
take us
Blake. You
away?
fucked it all up.
You ready to take us, Blake?
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Gang.
Thanks, Efren, for coming and
Yeah,
being a
thanks for
guest
having me,
with us today. That was a lot of fun. Check us out on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
If you're out there and you
Thanks
are
for
easily
listening.
offended,
We'll see you next week.
now's your time to leave.
Gender neutral person with below average penis dead on sidewalk.